Hey everyone, welcome to the SnatchyBuckles weekly update, your source for nerdy news from the past week covering video games, movies, television, and more. It is November 15th. I'm your host, Ben, and as always, I'm joined by the Dragon Tamer himself, Adam. How are you doing? How's your week been?
Not bad.
How's the can opening at the start? I like that. I like that. Hey, that's why everyone comes to watch it live, because then you get to see us coming apart at the seams as we start the show. If you're watching this live on Twitch right now, we thank you. We hope you'll jump into chat and chat amongst yourselves over the course of the show. We'll be delving into chat later on. Of course, if you have a message that you desperately... I'm trying to quietly open this as I go. If you have a message that you desperately want us to read out, be it a comment, question, suggestion, or just a simple thought you want us to read... Your mic's static. Give it that little jiggle. Give it a little jiggle. I will continue if I'm all right at the minute. Thank you for the heads up there, chat. We really appreciate that. Hopefully you'll see you've got a brand new little badge. We'll get into that once we get into housekeeping. But first, hopefully that's better. You let us know. You let us know. This is the joy. Well, that is the best way to do it. If you just give it a good old blow.
Good old NES cartridge.
No, still not sorted. Give it a receipt. There you go. Just like the NES cartridge. Fun fact, that never actually worked. It was the reseating it that actually did it. It would cause more damage to it.
That's better.
I think they always said on the back, don't do it, because if you blow on it, you might damage it.
Need this on.
No, we don't need that on. You can turn that off.
Goodbye.
Let's hope that sorted it.
Let me know. If not, we'll share one mic.
Yeah, otherwise, well, we've got more mics. We can hook it up. This is the whole joy of watching the show live. This is the first actual hardware hiccup we've had since starting the show over a month ago.
3, 4, 5?
I think this is our 5th, I want to say.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
On my body every time we do one.
You're gonna just keep marking it on, like you're marking your prison sentence off.
I'm gonna look like Colin. No, it's still doing it.
It's still doing it. Right. This is the joy of watching it live, guys. I'll maybe cut this out of the later broadcast. Do you want to check the cable at the other end?
Yes.
You check the cable at the other end. I'll make sure everything's seated fine here.
What about that? Any better?
Is Adam still a robot?
Oh, hold up.
The joys of technology. No, that's not affecting it.
I was gonna test it. I wonder if I hear it.
Fixed.
Yay!
Yay, there we go. Just needed the other end. See, one of the ends needed blown in. We were right about that. As I was saying, yes, if you're watching this live on Twitch, we thank you, because then you guys let us know. We could have got halfway through the show. If we just recorded this, we would have come to the edit later on and been like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, Adam's a robot for the entire thing. But
I'm going to get in the habit of bringing my headphones again.
We appreciate you coming and checking out and letting us know when audio issues are there and all that sort of stuff. And if you have any messages that you want to get to us that you desperately want read out, like I say, we'll jump properly into chat later on in the show, but Adam will keep an eye on it over the course of it. You can, of course, tip or cheer here on Twitch. If you're watching this on youtube.com/SnatchyBuckles or via your favorite podcast service, we thank you for consuming the show in whatever medium you like to do so. I totally get that. If you're walking your dog or driving your car or something.
Taking a bath.
But you still want to support us, much like the viewers right now on Twitch. You can, of course, support us. The easiest way to do so is by subscribing. You can do that with your hard-earned bucks, or if you're an Amazon Prime customer, you can do it for free. You can link your Amazon account to your Twitch account. It doesn't add any extra cost to your Amazon, and it means that you can subscribe to a channel for free. You don't get any ads. You get a load of extra benefits. It's all good stuff, and it supports the show, and we thank you for that. And of course, give us a follow on Twitch. If you're not usually a Twitch viewer and you want to come back for future streams, give us a follow.
See the hiccups.
See these hiccups live. So we're going to go into a little bit of housekeeping. I remember I had something for housekeeping, and now I've already forgotten what it is.
Is it that you've finally made the graphic?
I haven't finally made the graphic. There is still no graphic. I keep forgetting.
Disturbing.
I genuinely thought about it earlier. I was like, I'm going to make the graphic and trick him. He's going to ask if I've made it, and I'm going to go boop. But no, I still haven't made the graphic. I made the mistake when I made the original graphics. I didn't save the project.
Oh my.
I rendered it, and then the PC crashed.
You're a bad human being.
I know, I lost it. I'm a bad technical person. Adam's broken again. Look at you being broken. You tell you what, guys, we're gonna, before we get fully into the show, because this is still just during housekeeping. Like I say, you're seeing this coming apart at the seams. We are just a rolling wreck of fire and garbage rolling down the street right now. Do you want to do the phantom on and off? See if that sorts it.
Shit, yeah.
Just give that a go. Give that a little doohickey. Right, you guys probably just got deafened. We apologize for that.
Any better?
Any better?
Am I a robot?
You guys are doing great. Thanks. Thank you very much. Spaces.
Am I still Bender?
This is your favorite part when we're trying to figure out if it works. Are you still Bender? Good?
Good? If it goes, let us know, because I'm going to keep chat open 90% of the time throughout this, just in case it happens again.
Just in case it happens again. Hopefully that, I think it was probably static.
Bad mic.
And popping a little bit of extra phantom power through it probably flushed it out. I imagine that water is just like, electricity is just like water, right? You just flush things.
Just
that's it. So I think I had something for housekeeping. I forgot. I know we had something for housekeeping, but we still can't talk about it officially.
No.
There's things in the works, guys, here at SnatchyBuckles. I'm really, really dying to tell you guys. Some of you probably already have an inkling because I did directly talk to people about the prospect of it like a week ago. But we're not officially allowed to say anything yet. We got some good things coming. Some things that will benefit you guys big time. We'll be able to bring our A game even more than we already do because apparently this is our A game, having dusty mics. Dusty mic.
I'm just blown into the mic.
Yeah, let's not do that. Yes, apologies to audio viewers, but that's fine. Because we don't have any other housekeeping. I had something, but I've already forgotten.
You sure? Have you put it in here?
This is the bit that's like a normal podcast where we have no idea what we're saying.
What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Streaming, working, playing games. I'm like nearly finished Red Dead 2 for my second run, so I've nearly got those trophies ticked off, and all I have left is the online. And all I've left is 100%ing the hunting stuff, where you've got to like see every single animal and skin it, and then online.
You disgust me.
The annoying bit is you can't get that animal trophy in online. I was hoping that if I had any left over, we could go get them as a group. But
I would instantly shoot the whole whatever animal it is would be shot from
straight
8 miles away.
But yeah, we don't actually have any Red Dead news, so it's just as well we're bringing it up now. Otherwise, we'd be breaking tradition of talking about Red Dead.
One of these streams, we're gonna not have Red Dead news.
No, it's because we're still coming up to the launch.
We're not. Hold
it's
up.
coming soon. Do you want to do a quick check? I recommend, and this is plugging the site, rockstarintel.com has some of the best news about Red Dead Online.
Possibly 2 weeks. Maybe news next week, release date the week after.
And then we'll be talking about it non-stop because we'll be planning events. Anyway, shall we jump into the gaming news?
Housekeeping.
Always. All right, kicking us off in the gaming update this week. XO18 was last weekend. Is there any updates? There's no updates on Red Dead. We're officially telling you there's no updates on Red Dead Online yet. But XO18 was last week, and that's Microsoft's big event that they held at the Fan Fest in Mexico City. I watched it live. I don't know how much of it you stayed up to date with.
I kept up to date with what you messaged me.
What I spammed you all night long.
There was a lot of stuff. You went, you turned from every single headline to then go.
No, I started doing it as
write
blocks.
them and then just space them out.
No, I did. I would write as it happened, and then I'd be like, I'll wait a little bit. So he's only getting messages every like 10 minutes rather than every 10
I fell
seconds.
Asleep halfway through it, and I was like, how have I not got like 8,000 messages? And then out of nowhere, the big block. And I was like, that's why
I was saving them. So I've got the list of news here. We'll stop and talk about different things, but just to give you guys the full update, XO18, it was a big event. I've seen people complaining, saying that Microsoft paid off the crowd. I can confirm almost from my knowledge that was not a paid off crowd because they did not shut the hell up, regardless of what was happening on stage. A paid crowd would do what they're told.
Be quiet.
Yeah,
They would
this wasn't.
Be like actors.
This was like they were filming it in the middle of a festival, and everyone. It was a big deal. Like Microsoft came to their home city to do this big event. That's a cool thing. So first of all, they announced PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is coming to Xbox Game Pass. So you're going to be able to get it as part of Game Pass if you subscribe to that. On top of that, you can get Game Pass for $1 if it's your first, or £1.
And £1.
Yeah, if it's your first month. I will say if you've had months in the past, it might have ticked. It might not count it, so you might be able to get it again. They did a deal a little while ago. It was £2 for 2 months. And despite the fact I'd been a subscriber via codes, like cards, for about 6 months, it still let me get the £2 deal. So you might still be able to get this.
Purchasing it.
That's it. So you might still be able to get this. Check it out. It's £1. But yeah, now you can get PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I think it's actually added there now. If it's not now, it's tomorrow.
Don't buy the sausage roll and get Game Pass.
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
No sausage roll. Pass.
Sausage rolls are more expensive than £1 nowadays in most places.
No, they're 95 pence.
Oh, they're still 95 pence.
I think.
Okay, we're talking about sausage rolls. Anyway, Crackdown 3. We got to see more footage of that. We got to see a release date. I'm excited for it. I think this footage that they showed was good. It finally got a proper release date after it's been bounced around. I think it was originally supposed to come out in the end of
last year. No,
end of 2016. It was supposed to come out.
Then it was meant to be like a launch title, wasn't it?
Not quite a launch because I mean both consoles are like 5 years. Yeah, I was gonna say. I found it was today is the 5th anniversary of the PlayStation 4. It's crazy how long they've been here. Every so often you go like it's too soon for a new console, and then you go wow, no, you got your PS4 about 8 months later or so, if not a little longer.
Yeah.
Because it was in the run up to GTA 5. That was the hype for
right.
it. Anyway, we got some news for Crackdown 3. We got to see some more of the game. We got the release date, which is February 15th. They originally announced February 22nd. They rescinded that, and then they just said February 15th, bang in the middle. And on top of that, we also found out about Wrecking Zone, which is a new multiplayer arena-based game mode in Crackdown 3.
Completely hosted by the cloud.
Kind of, yeah. It's the
destruction is
they're taking
by the cloud,
all the
it?
technology that they promised for the main game when they kept saying they were going to have all of this destruction and everything was going to be in the cloud, and everyone went, wait, what if I want to play it single player and I don't have an internet connection? Am I just not going to have any buildings destroyed?
I wonder.
This is only more. I bet single player is going to be a static city. It'll have destructible barriers and destructible this and that, but I bet it's a static city. Whereas this, the whole arena is destructible.
Not all of it. I believe it's not everything can be ruined.
Oh, really?
There's a large
The bit that they showed off in the trailer, they were taking main beam supports out of like a skyscraper, and the whole thing was coming down.
You just can't destroy everything. Like you can't destroy everything.
That's kind of like a
Battlefield
Bad
Company would be
or even
how
later.
you see
Battlefield 4, you could take buildings down, but then there would still be like the framework that you couldn't really get rid of.
Yeah.
But no, that's still exciting. I think it's cool. They're adding that in. I hope we get multiplayer in the single. I hope we get a co-op campaign
I
in
hope
there.
so.
It feels like Microsoft's definitely pushing for this co-op. They've got it in Forza, they've got it in Sea of Thieves, they're going for this
co-op as well.
Collaborative, cooperative experience. So I hope that that's going to be in it. But that's Crackdown 3. We also got to see a new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, which I was quite excited about. We got to see the return of Winnie the Pooh and the 100 Acre Wood, which immediately I was like, I want it. Like, I'm done. What was that?
Have we had 100 Acre Wood before?
I don't know if we went there, but Winnie the Pooh was, I think he was in 2. He might have been. I don't think he was in 1, but I think he was in 2. But he's back, and I think the 100 Acre Wood. It looked from the trailer, you were definitely in the 100 Acre Wood.
You can normally tell is it Zora?
Yeah,
looks very tailored to the world.
to the actual world.
If he's got that look to the world, he tends to be in it. I don't think this did
in the trailer. Although the trailer mostly just focused on the characters, but no, that's still cool. Winnie the Pooh's in there regardless. That's even more worlds after we just talked about Tangled last week. Final Fantasy 13 Trilogy is coming to Xbox One backward compatibility. So if you already own Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, and
13,
Lightning Returns,
Lives of the Cats.
Yeah, that's the
13.
one. If you own any of those on Xbox, or if you pick them up now, you'll be able to play them, and they're going to have Xbox One X kind of advanced, so it'll have 4K support and stuff like that.
It'll look deeper blacks.
Yeah, exactly. It'll have
colours.
HDR, it'll have a higher resolution textures and things like that. It's just been all up-resed. Next up, Sea of Thieves also announced a new multiplayer mode, a full new mode.
My attention to what you described it as.
It's called the Arena. And from the trailer, it looked like it was 4v4, but I'm imagining they're probably going to have it so you can also just do like against everybody. But 4v4 immediately makes me go like, oh my god, we can reenact the end of Pirates of the Caribbean 3. All we need is a maelstrom.
No, we do not need more.
That was a good action scene. That was a cool action scene. The movie wasn't too hot. It wasn't terrible. 3 was when I stopped liking them. But anyway, that's a different topic. But yeah, it's 4v4. That's really cool. And I think the idea is everyone gets there's basically islands in this arena, and you get given a treasure map, and everyone has to go for the same treasure. And it's whoever scores the treasure gets the points. So it's not just deathmatch. It's actually score.
Capture the flag.
It's capture the flag. It's which I like. I like a good objective based. Yeah. I like a good objective-based game mode, so that's pretty cool. I need to go back to Sea of Thieves because they've added so much more content since launch.
Do you think within Sea of Thieves it might have the Halo flag glitch? Where you like carry and punch and drop your weapon constantly the whole way so you didn't get slowed.
As well as that, this thing is actually active now, but Xbox One is officially adding keyboard and mouse support with the first games integrating it is Fortnite and Warframe.
Bizarre that Fortnite's doing it because Fortnite recently just enabled it so that if you plug a keyboard and mouse in a console, it'll automatically put you with PC players.
This does the same.
Yeah.
That's what I think these games, and apparently Warframe does the same. I think that's why these are the first games because they already have a infrastructure for
matchmaking system.
Because obviously you can already plug a keyboard and mouse into the Xbox. I've done it before with Minecraft. You can literally plug it in and play Minecraft with a keyboard and mouse. But this is like official support so that games will be able to
program it in.
Do like keybinds and things like that. Next up, what do they announced? We got to see. I'm skipping one here, but I'll go back. We got to see a new Just Cause 4 trailer, which immediately got me maybe more hyped than any past trailer. This was a little bit more story stuff, and on top of that, it showed a lot more of the tornado. Which, by the sounds of it, they had a developer on stage. It sounds like the tornado is always there.
Yeah, isn't it like
it's just a roaming
sort
event.
of like biome that's just happening
it just
around.
happens everywhere. Like you never know when it's going to roll into the city that you're in, or if you could
Sure,
be the
you
other
can
side of the map.
see it coming.
Oh, you'll see it coming. You can prepare yourself.
Because wasn't it in our demo at EGX we could see
was.
it in the distance?
So I didn't know that. I thought it was just an event that happened from time to time. Apparently, it is always there, and it's just this beast that roams the wilderness.
Just want Just Cause 4 to be polished enough on a console. It's
looking,
a lot. It's a good game to play like relaxed in a chair.
When they were showing the Xbox One, admittedly it'll have been X footage, so it is the more powerful. It's the most powerful console right now. It looked great. It looked at a nice solid frame rate. We shall see how it runs on base consoles, but hopefully it'll be all right. All they need to do is bring the resolution down, and they should be fine. Void Bastards also got announced. This is a brand new game from Blue Manchu.
Watch your potty mouth.
And Jonathan Shea, who is one of the original founders of, I want to say they're called Irrational Games, the creators of BioShock and System Shock.
Oh, yes.
So this is his new game, Void Bastards. It's got a very interesting art style. It looks all cell-shaded and stuff like that. You looking up some stuff we can pull up on...
I just hadn't seen it.
Was
there a trailer?
There is trailers. It'll probably be the announcement trailer, just to the right. Oh, or that one. One of them will do.
Is this going to be...
It'll probably... have audio as well, so just watch that. You can just drop it on mute and then just drag that over. But yeah, Void Bastards is a new game from Jonathan Che. Immediately exciting as soon as you find that it's obviously what his past projects have been. We've got that playing. Let's actually just knock it over there while I continue going through stuff. It's a very interesting art style, very Borderlands-y, cel-shading.
Yeah.
But
like 13. Well, XIII.
It's got that kind of... This bit just looks like a shooter, but it's got all those kind of RPG mechanics that you love from kind of BioShock and stuff like that. It's got the puzzles, the puzzle elements. It looks like a pretty cool game. But yeah, next up we got Devil May Cry 5 showed off its practice mode. That was the biggest thing that they really brought to the show. It's pretty much if you play a fighting game and you can go into those like test arenas where it's like a white background and you can just try your moves out on like you can toggle the AI on and off. It's pretty much that, but for Devil May Cry. What else?
You know what it is? I want to play this game.
I thought you would because you're a big BioShock fan.
BioShock.
So if you get more of that same style gameplay, why not?
It's like that, but like Risk of Rain as well. Yeah. The way they went with the second one.
Yeah. No, it looks good. Look, I like the RPG. It looks like you got to collect things.
Looks like it might be roguelite as well.
Yeah. Which should especially be good. And I don't know when it comes out, but it is coming to Xbox Game Pass on release. I'm going to knock that off now. But next up, Microsoft announced more companies that they've acquired. So at E3, they announced kind of, I think it was 8 or 9, I think it was 8 companies or maybe 7 companies they had announced.
I think it was about 7.
They've now announced 2 more. So they have now acquired In Exile Entertainment and Obsidian Entertainment. I'm not super familiar with In Exile.
What Obsidian?
Obsidian have done lots of stuff. Obsidian back in the day, they did Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, yes.
But they've also they made Stick of Truth before Ubisoft took it over. I think they made the Dungeon Siege games back in the day. Like they are big RPG makers, and they made a big point of saying they're not going to make them do something out of their wheelhouse. They're going to keep them making RPGs. So I'm like, just give Obsidian Fable.
That would work so well.
And apparently, a load of the studios that they had already announced already have projects that are close to being announced. It's not that they literally got them at E3 and they've just started work. Like some of them have been working on stuff for a few years, and Microsoft just bought them. So we might get some announcements soon.
Got Game Awards coming up.
We do.
In Exile Entertainment is Wasteland 2.
We've got some really cool game announcement stuff for us to debate, and hopefully you guys in chat to shout out your opinions as well. So one of the last things they announced, pretty much over the course of the show, they announced a load of new games coming to Game Pass. That was the big thing they were pushing. They were really celebrating Game Pass. So I already mentioned at PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. They're also adding Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which is a phenomenal game. Really, really good. Ori and the Blind Forest, which I'm surprised wasn't already on there. Ori and the Will of Wisps on release. It's not out yet. Kingdom 2 Crowns. I haven't played this, but I've played the first game. Very good. Aftercharge. Supermarket Shriek, which is a new game, which isn't out yet either. Void Bastards, which we just looked at. Pathologic 2. Secret Neighbor. The Good Life. Thief of Thieves, which I think just came out today or yesterday. Thomas Was Alone, which is a great game. MXGP3. Agents of Mayhem, which I really want to check out. I missed that one completely. I know it's set in the Saints Row universe. And I want to check it out.
No, I played Get Out of Hell.
Yeah, I played those ones. I played Saints Row 4 and Get Out of Hell, but I never played Agents of Mayhem. Mutant Year Zero is the final one. And again, you can, between now and January 3rd, you can pick up Game Pass for $1.
I will say this. I did read another bit of additional information on the whole Games Pass thing, is that with the release of, like, a lot of people are pushing for, like, being able to preload games and have them all ready for, like, these on-release games that come out. that's been implemented.
Is that being put in the Game Pass?
It's getting put into Games Pass, and I think the first one that does is possibly Crackdown 3.
That would be good. That was one of my disappointments with Sea of Thieves.
That you had
to wait until it was fully out before you could go download it.
Yeah. So that's going to be a feature that's coming with it.
That's good. We mentioned PUBG coming to Xbox One. It's already on Xbox One. It's coming to Game Pass. It's also officially now coming to PlayStation 4. We've known it's coming for a while now. It's been a while. We've known it's coming by the end of the year. But Bluehole released an announcement trailer. They are releasing the game on December 7th on the PlayStation Marketplace. And along with the release, if you pre-order it, you get access to exclusive skins of Nathan Drake and Ellie's backpack. I'm confused by that one because...
Do you just play a backpack?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm confused by it being...
Your backpack skin will be...
Can you get
Ellie's
backpack skins now?
I bet you can.
So when you pick a backpack up, it'll turn into the backpack you've got set. Okay, I get that. But yeah, that is only for PlayStation.
Become a backpack.
You could just become a backpack. That'd be way more fun.
Imagine PUBG added prop hunt.
That would be pretty cool.
Do not steal that.
There's been a few games lately that have done kind of a prop hunt style thing I want to check out. But anyway, before we go into the next long thing to go through where we'll be having a full discussion, full podcast style, we played and had the chance to play it early, Spyro Reignited Trilogy. What were your thoughts?
It is bloody fantastic from what I played.
So you've been playing it, the first game again in your own time now.
Yeah, to put it in a concept perspective.
Yeah.
We played the first game across 2 days on stream. I then went home yesterday and played Spyro 1 again.
Yeah.
If that is not enough to sell a game to be like...
Absolutely.
I need this.
We haven't played much of 2 and we haven't touched 3 at all, so we can't say anything about those, but 1 is polished to hell.
Polished to the high heavens.
And it was the point, I'm not a Spyro fan. I'm not that I'm not a Spyro fan, but I wasn't a Spyro fan as a kid. I didn't grow up with Spyro so much. I grew up around it, like I was aware of it, but I never really played it. So for me coming into this, somehow it still triggered that same nostalgia. It made me feel like I was playing an old school... Even though it looks all polished, it still triggered that same feeling I got with Crash Bandicoot. You know, it's still that like platformer that you don't get anymore.
Just wait until we play Medieval.
I can't wait for that because I did play that one. So yeah, I really liked it to the point where we finished streaming on the Monday and I immediately sat down and started playing it again from the beginning myself because I wanted to play more.
The fact on Tuesday we finished streaming and then you decided that you wanted to go ahead and get the platinum
because we didn't have many left.
The cleanup.
Yep, I did all the cleanup, which was actually more interesting myself because it meant I suddenly had to get used to not mechanics, but I had to suddenly jump into levels that I'd never touched, which were way more difficult right at the end of the game, and had to figure my way around that. But it isn't a super difficult game, and I think that's one of the best parts of it. Not everything has to be like Demon's Souls.
You have to like. It's like the Lego games. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. They're fun. They're accessible for kids, but an adult can also pick them up and go for all the collectibles. Go for all this. You can go for 100%.
It's got that part that the adults would want the collectible side, like the skill points and whatnot.
So if you had to give it a out of 10 out of 10. Okay, you give it 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Going to give it just purely because of what our next subject is going to be, which is going to be rating stuff slightly. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, but I think that's mostly you probably got those last 2 points due to nostalgia.
Yeah. Because I grew up with it and I could not wait because when it got announced, that was it.
Oh,
I was calling it. I called after Crash was announced. I was like Spyro and Medieval in my life.
You were following all the little leaks, like they're gonna randomly drop a Spyro demo amongst Crash because originally in Crash 3 or 2 they had a Spyro. I think it was 2 that had a Spyro demo, but they didn't end up doing that. But they did announce it, so it's good.
Like at least a year, I would message and going, "Spyro's coming. It's got to be coming." Crash did so well. Spyro's coming, and then once that came out, I was like, "Medieval hands down is happening,"
and it did.
Without a doubt, is happening,
and it did. What's the next one you're going to call? I want to know now so that we can prepare down the road.
Let's have a look.
We were talking about some older games. Anyone else in chat, if you've got an old PlayStation... I think we talked about this on stream the other day. If you've got an old like PS1 era game, or even older, that you would like to see get the full lick of paint, like rebuilt from the ground up, but using the original like level layouts and...
Soul Reaver.
You're going to go for Soul Reaver?
I'm going Soul Reaver.
See, I would like to go the step before and go Blood Omen first.
The Soul Reaver series.
Yeah. So go for the Legacy of Kain series. Yeah. Like go for that whole thing.
Or if I'm going platform specific, Xbox with Blinks the Time Sweeper.
That'd be a good one. I could go for that. Yeah, we haven't had that.
That game was bloody amazing.
I'd be happy with that or Conquer from Xbox. See, Xbox have got so many things they could be working on.
It's worse as well because they've teased Banjo and Conquer on Twitter not too long ago. They put a picture of like outside their office. Conker's standing in the bush on the right, and the bird from Banjo's standing.
I think because they must still have the rights because they put Banjo-Kazooie into Sea of Thieves as a masthead. You can get it's like a bear with a shield in front of it.
Either them or Microsoft own the rights, and they are sitting on that nest egg.
They need to do something with it.
Xbox 2 and PS5 will be.
I already know what I want to see.
What do you want to see?
I want Viva Pinata. Let me know, guys, in chat. Do you want Viva Pinata 3? I want Viva Pinata 3.
I preferred 1 to 2.
I did as well, if I'm honest, but if I was to go and play one now,
it was a bit shit.
It was, and I feel like some of the extra mechanics were a little unnecessary.
They're fucking different biomes. Nobody wants that shit. That is just I'm
fine with having like sand and snow in my thing, but I don't want to have to go out and catch them. That was kind of a pain. If they do a third one, like I said, if I was to go and play one now, I would obviously play 2 because it's just got more animals. But yeah, I did prefer 1. I put more hours into 1. But yeah, I would love a 3. But rather than future games, we got games that came out in the past year to talk about because the Video Game Awards nominees were released this week. So I thought it would be fun if we go down these and give what we want to win for each section and then what we think will win, because that's more fair. Because you can go, I want this game to win, but I know it won't.
Yeah.
I know this other one will win. For example, I know Red Dead's probably going to take home a lot of these. So this is the Video Game Awards. This is on December 6th at 9 p.m. ET, 6 p.m. PT. I don't have the UK time for that. I'm just reading this from a Polygon article. But we'll kick it off with the big one, because it's the easiest one to jump into. Game of the Year.
Red Dead.
I'm going to read the list first. But yeah. Assassin's Creed Odyssey by Ubisoft. Celeste by Matt Makes Games. God of War by Sony Santa Monica, Marvel's Spider-Man by Insomniac Games, Monster Hunter World by Capcom, and Red Dead Redemption 2 by Rockstar Games. What do you think's gonna win, and what do you want to win?
Red Dead.
Yeah, I'm picking Red Dead.
I don't know. There could be a shock.
You think there could be?
I think God of War might take it.
I think God of War.
I think it's going to be very close call between Red Dead and God of War.
Because I would also choose God of War, but I think the only thing that gives Red Dead those points ahead for me is when I finish God of War and I 100%ed it.
It's dick in your mouth.
That's what it is.
Get away.
It's the big old horse. It's the big old horse dick I'm glugging down. No, the God of War, when I finished it and I 100%ed it, I went through and did all the extra challenges. It was great that it had like specific end game stuff. That was really cool. But once you did all that, I never felt a pull to go back to the world. I didn't want to just go walk around. I guess it's not
like an open world.
It's semi-open, but not enough that once you've 100%, there's nothing else to go do. Red Dead, however, if we just disregard online, because that's almost a separate game itself, but Red Dead, I'm now just doing tidy up with hunting, but even after I've done that, I'll still just come back in just to roam around and see what people are doing in the town. I'm still coming across stuff now that I didn't know happened, NPC interactions that I didn't know existed now, and I feel like I'll still have that for at least the next year. So yeah, this is a world that I want to keep, and I think it's the world more so than even the story or the characters and the gameplay. The world is what I want. I don't know if
like the clunky controls.
Yeah,
that might be the only point it loses. It's interesting that Assassin's Creed Odyssey's up there. That was not what I was expecting.
Everyone loves it. I missed out on it because because games are bloody expensive is one, and two, I just missed out. I have played a little bit of it, but they took everything that made Origin good. And then put it into a world that doesn't take you an hour to get across to get anywhere. They put everything a lot closer. It's a big world, but they put more stuff.
Oh, it's a lot closer. Like
if you go like I want to go here, you're not riding on a horse for ages. You can get there a lot quicker.
That was maybe my biggest gripe for
the world was big and pretty, but there was too much riding. Everything was too clustered. Every major quest thing was just a hub in a city. You'd go to a city, get all the quests. This, you'll be riding through the wilderness and just come across someone. It's a lot more Red Dead-esque in that, or Witcher in that regard, where you're constantly coming across stuff. But yeah, no, I think everyone loves it. It's up for quite a few awards as we go down. So yeah, Game of the Year, we want. Or what do you want, actually? Because we can have different opinions. I want Red Dead. I'm just going to say Red Dead outright.
I'm going to say
I love Red Dead. I also love Spider-Man. But again, Spider-Man's not a one I've gone back to since 100%ing it.
Yeah.
I'll go back for the DLC when it's all out.
And think Red Dead's got it.
Yeah, I think it does. And I think it's a shame because games like Monster Hunter World are also phenomenal. I just don't think they don't stand up against games like God of War and Red Dead. While still being a great title in itself. So yeah, I'm going to go Red Dead, and I think Red Dead might take it. Because I think there's enough press that vote on this that would... And also, it's the fan... No, is it the fans that vote, or is it the press? It's the press that choose them, and then it's the fans that vote. Yeah, so you can go to the website... I'm assuming it's just videogameawards.com. I think the link is...
GameAwards.com/awards.
And you can actually vote on all of these to make a difference. But yeah, so we're going Red Dead 2. Next, the best ongoing game.
This has a lot of close titles in it.
A lot of what?
like close winners that it would be hard to
It's
pick
difficult
from.
to choose between them. So yeah, the best ongoing game. So this is a game. These are pretty much all games as a service games, pretty much.
Yeah.
So we got Destiny 2, Fortnite. Sorry, I'll read the full thing. Destiny 2 by Bungie, Fortnite by Epic Games, No Man's Sky by Hello Games, Overwatch by Blizzard, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege by Ubisoft. What's your initial? What do you think? I know you put a lot of time into at least 2 of these games, or one more so, I think.
I don't know which.
I would
There's
choose
at least 3 up there that I would think I could easily take
for the ongoing stuff.
For the ongoing
See,
stuff.
I want to go for the underdog. I personally would want to vote for No Man's Sky just because of how much changes it's gone through.
It's gone through
phenomenal
changes,
game
but
now.
I don't think it doesn't have like. If you look at Fortnite, how much change goes into that weekly?
That's true.
There's at least a new item added every week.
They're still just small increment. This is like they added an entire underwater system to the
And
game.
they update the map at least every
That's true.
90 days.
Again, it's still just the same map from start.
Yeah,
They just
but-
change things. But yeah, I think out of those, yeah, no, I don't want to take credit away from Fortnite because Fortnite is a great ongoing game and it's obviously got a huge fan base.
I would kind of want.
I haven't played enough Siege to give that my vote. I'd want to because Siege seems like I have got a note on that. You've probably already seen this for later. But yeah, I don't know. If I'm honest, I'm gonna go for Destiny 2, and I think Destiny 2 might take it. I think it's got a good chance.
I don't know. It's between Destiny 2 and Fortnite.
Yeah.
I want Destiny 2 because Forsaken improved
fixed
a lot.
It fixed a lot of stuff. Mic's broken again.
Oh no! Hold up.
We're fixing the mic, guys. Apologies for this.
I'll just do it a quick one.
Yeah, technical difficulties. You might hear a few pops over the course of the show. Was that just the Phantom again?
Yeah.
If it happens again, we'll see if we can power cycle without breaking everything. That's not going to happen.
Good job.
Yes, you want Destiny 2.
I want Destiny because of everything that Forsaken's done.
Yeah.
I am still logging on weekly, and it's got that like it's still got story going through from the original Forsaken release. Still got all the new weapons coming.
Oh no, I get excited every time you
Quest
tell
and
me. I'm not
ridiculous.
actively playing it super at the minute. I'm happy to jump back in anytime, but I'm not. It hasn't got the hold on me enough for the whole the kind of just the random loot system that it's got. Like that doesn't hold me enough. That
Yeah.
I'd rather be sitting playing Red Dead.
I'm not even playing it for the random loot at this point. I know that was a big deal for a lot of people. It's just
They fixed that a lot as well. It's just for me, it's. I do the same with WoW, where I get to the end game and I get sick of having to just grind for the same stuff. That's just me personally. I know a lot of people love that kind of gameplay and playing the RNG.
I think Fortnite will win it just because of how much player base it has alone.
Yeah, no, that you're probably right. I don't know. I'm gonna give my vote still to Destiny 2.
I would. Mine's going with Destiny 2, but
Yeah,
I think Fortnite.
you think Fortnite will take it? I can agree with that. Is your mic sorted now? Do we know that?
Is it sorted? Mic fixed?
While you're doing that, since mine seems to be fine, the next category is Best Game Direction. A Way Out, Hazel Light Studios, Detroit Become Human, Quantic Dream, God of War by Sony Santa Monica, Marvel's Spider-Man by Insomniac Games, and Red Dead Redemption 2 by Rockstar Games. I
want to say Way Out.
I kind of do, because that blew my mind. But I might just give it to, I don't know, because God of War, as far as its game direction goes, that choice to do it all as one take was mind-blowing at the time.
And you know where to go without it having to ever prompt you.
Yeah, no, it's just like one adventure. But at the same time, Red Dead's got a bloody good, like, yeah, it's such a tough one. There's some very close games this year.
I'm going to go God of War.
You're going to go God of War?
War.
Is that your choice, or is that what you think it'll be?
That's my
That's your choice. You want to go God of War. For game direction, I think you might be right. Because that, as much as I love Red Dead 2, and it's probably going to get my vote for everything else, it already got my game of the year. I think God of War just deserves it for its overall, just the way it did a lot of things.
One take. It's general being able to navigate the player without ever giving them prompts.
The way it tells the story is just really interesting. Like, I would spend extra time in the boat just so I could keep listening to stories about the old
I would purposely
kingdom.
just like sit just before the port.
Yeah. You'd be riding up to it and you're like, I don't want to get off now. He's halfway through his story. I need to finish it. Because the guy that was, I don't know who the voice actor was, but he was really good. Like, you really wanted to keep listening to him. So, okay, we're going for God of War for Best Game Direction. Next category is Best Narrative. Detroit Become Human by Quantic Dream, God of War by Sony Santa Monica, Life is Strange 2 Episode 1 by Don't Not Entertainment. That's an interesting one being in there. Marvel's Spider-Man by Insomniac Games, and Red Dead Redemption 2 by Rockstar Games. Again, this is a really tough one because I love the God of War story, But at the same time, if you ask me now about any major details, I probably couldn't tell you. I've probably already forgotten a lot of them. So that doesn't say a lot for a story if you can't remember it after only like 6 months or whatever it's been. Red Dead is very fresh, so I might be biased toward that. I also love the Red Dead story.
I think it might be Detroit Become Human.
That I want that game so much because it seems like such a great story. As much as it is just a David Cage nonsense, I'm still excited. That being said, I mean, the fact that Life is Strange 2 Episode 1 is on here is so impressive.
Episode 1
because that's the only one that's out. They haven't even announced when Episode 2 is coming. And I still haven't played it yet. At this point, I'm kind of waiting until I know when episode 2 is, and then I'll play it and get ready for episode 2. Yeah. Spider-Man had a great story, but it was a very Spider-Man comic book story.
You knew what was happening.
You knew exactly what was coming. You could plan out the plot points, and it was full of plot holes that you could go like, well, why didn't he just do this? And it would fix everything. But at the same time, it was a comic book story, and it was true to that. So I'm gonna go Red Dead for this. What do you think? You thought Detroit?
Detroit.
Yeah, well, it is a very narrative game. Okay, yeah, we'll see when the results come out.
Yeah.
Best art direction: Assassin's Creed Odyssey by Ubisoft, God of War by Sony Santa Monica. God of War is almost in everything here. Like Sony first party has really taken. Yeah, so is Red Dead. Octopath Traveler by Square Enix, Red Dead Redemption 2 by Rockstar Games, and Return of the Obra Dinn by 3909 LLC. That's a tough one because I loved Return of the Obra Dinn. It was a very interesting game, art style wise. Again, it just sounds like I'm being biased. I'm going to go for Red Dead 2 because no game in recent memory has made me literally stop playing and go, fuck me. Like, people that watched the stream when I did my full, 45-hour stream, how many times did I stop and just go, fuck, this is a beautiful game? Like, just something would catch you off guard and you go, wow, that's a really cool view. Like, it was beautiful.
I think Octopath Traveler might.
You think that might take it?
I know there was a lot of rave about how good and how impressive it was, like art-wise.
I can get that. It is a lot more unique.
Yeah. The rest are all like not standard.
No, I'm just gonna say Return of the Obra Dinn is very unique in itself as well. Yeah. But I don't know if enough people have even necessarily played it.
I think Octopath Traveler might take it.
That's a big one, yeah.
Art direction.
Okay. I'm gonna go stick with Red Dead just because, like I say, I've never had a game that's made me stop and go, this is a good looking game. Best score / music: Celeste, composed by Lena Raine; God of War, composed by Bear McCreary. That's an awesome name. Marvel Spider-Man, composed by John Paisano; Ni no Kuni 2: Revenant Kingdom, composed by Joe Hisaishi; Octopath Traveler, composed by Yasunori Nishiki. There we go. I'm gonna butcher all these names.
These names are gonna get worse.
They are gonna get worse. And Red Dead Redemption 2, composed by Woody Jackson.
That is a cowboy name and a half.
It's just the word Woody. I'm not going to go Spider-Man off the bat because I felt like Spider-Man had about 3 bits of music, and as much as they were great epic pieces, it felt like I just heard the same bits of music over and over.
That's the Avengers music in the little
essentially that little bit. You do hear that. After you pointed that out, I could not hear it anymore. Yeah. I'm going to go Red Dead because that game has like 300 or 600 in unique bits of music that play over the course of it between missions. You'll just be playing a mission and suddenly this bit of music comes in and you're like, oh, here we go. Like it's all going. Or I'll just be riding around in New Austin and suddenly you'll just hear like, dong, 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 and then nothing else. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the Wild West.
Why?
But it's these little motifs that it plays throughout it. So again, I'm going to be biased. I'm going to go for Red Dead. Again, I think something like Octopath Traveler, or Celeste actually could take this. Celeste had a really nice.
I'm thinking Red Dead.
You're thinking Red?
I think because it goes straight off the bat as well and gets that like into Mexico sort of music within like the first
throughout
couple of hours.
You're only a few hours, not a few. You're a handful of hours in, but there's certain moments in the game, and I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, where you get that going into Mexico from RDR1 moment, and they brought artists back. There's a moment in the game when this bit of music played, and it was really emotional. Like I think it hits most people that play it, and you go like, "Oh fuck!" And then you find, and it was, I can't remember who it is now, but it's someone who hasn't composed something for like 10 years, and it's this big deal that they got him back. So yeah, it's really impressive. Apparently they had something like 60 music artists come in and compose original bits of music just for the game. Like that's game can do that. So we're going Red Dead. Best audio design. I think we're about the halfway point, maybe a little bit further now. I might skip some of the later ones because there's a load of esports ones that I feel like neither of us are going to be able to give a real opinion on. Best audio design: Call of Duty Black Ops 4 by Treyarch Studios, Forza Horizon 4 by Playground Games, God of War by Sony Santa Monica, Marvel's Spider-Man by Insomniac Games, and Red Dead Redemption 2 by Rockstar Games. And because I feel like a lot of this falls into the same category as the last one, I'm just going to go Red Dead again.
You think? I think Forza might take it.
You think Forza might take it?
Audio design for the cars.
Audio design for the guns.
Oh,
Those weighty guns.
Yeah, actually.
And the sound of the horses and just you can just stand in the city and just hear everyone moving around you and stuff.
Yeah, Red Dead, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
Forza is very, very impressive in the way the cars sound, but I'm never playing the game.
Forza to win?
Yeah. Because that would be also because this is the first racing game we've had pop up here. I think it's maybe one of the few racing games this year.
Red Dead will take it.
Yeah, I think Red Dead will. I think Red Dead deserves it as well. There's not a moment when I'm sitting playing... Again, this is similar to the art design. There's not a moment I'm playing Forza 4 when I go like, oh, wow, that was really good audio. But there's so many moments I'm playing Red Dead when I go, oh, that's a meaty sounding gun. Or like the splash of the mud as someone hits the ground or something. It's just, it all sounds great. Best performance. Brian Deckard as Connor from Detroit Become Human. Christopher Judge as Kratos from God of War. I'm going to have to try and pronounce this one right. Melisanthe Mahout as Cassandra from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2, and Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker from Marvel's Spider-Man. Now, I feel like I'm being biased the other way this time. I'm going to go for Yuri in this one.
Yuri.
He was such a good Peter Parker.
I could honestly see him as Peter Parker as well.
Well, because they used a different actor's face, but the way his performance and his voice, it was perfect. They need to get him to just do all the animated shows and stuff
for Spider-Man.
Yeah, it sounded perfect. And Roger Clark is really good as Arthur Morgan, but no, Yuri, as a Spider-Man fan growing up, Yuri definitely won me over with that. Games for Impact, 1111 Memories Retold. There's a bunch of different studios that work on this stuff. So Digix Art, Aardman Animations, and Bandai Namco Entertainment. Celeste by Matt Makes Games. Florence by Mountains / Annapurna Interactive. Life is Strange 2 Episode 1 by Don't Nod Entertainment / Square Enix. And The Missing J.J. Macfield and the Island of Memories by White Owls / Arc System Works. I haven't played enough of these.
I have not played a single one of these.
What does Games for Impact count as? Could you open the official site, because they give a little description of what each thing is? I'm genuinely curious.
I'm guessing it's like games that hit close to home, sort of like...
Oh, Red Dead should hit me. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Red Dead's the one where I've had moments in it when I go like, oh, Jesus. Is this it? I think you just had it there. Look, next one.
A thought-provoking game with profound pro-social meaning or messages.
Okay, yeah. So I can see.
So it's like
I can see
My
why.
Dragon Cancer and To the Moon sort of game.
Well, I'm gonna go for. Ooh, that's a tough one then. Because the only one I've played out of here is Celeste, so I'm gonna go for Celeste.
I have played none of them.
You played none of them.
I would expect maybe Life is Strange 2.
Yeah, it is. Life is Strange 1.
Especially from seeing the trailer prequel.
The thing that I played
Captain
through.
Spirit.
Yeah. Best Independent Game. Celeste by Matt Makes Games. Dead Cells by Motion Twin. Into the Breach by Subset Games. Return of the Obra Dinn by 3909 LLC. And The Messenger by Sabotage Studio. Again, have you played any of these? It's always tough.
You've seen me.
I was going to say, I want to give it to that because I love that and I love Celeste. So I think if you'd played Celeste, you would probably give it your vote because I always just think it's your sort of game. I don't think
I've seen anything.
It's basically it's a super tight platformer with kind of like Super Meat Boy style tight. You got to like dodge everything and bounce around. It's made by the people who made Towerfall.
Oh right. It vaguely looks familiar to
I know it blew up when I think it hit the Switch. But it's a super nice little, and the art style's really nice. The audio is good, like very chiptune-y sort of stuff. But I'm gonna give it for the Return of the Obra Dinn because that was made by one man. God damn, that was a good game. I really enjoyed that, so I'm gonna go for that one.
That's what I would expect
from what you've seen.
From what I've seen you play.
Also, Dead Cells is a one that I know a lot of people love, but I personally haven't played it. So
I've not played it.
I'm gonna have to skip that one.
Yeah.
There's so many of these games we're going through, and I'm going, Jesus, there's a lot I haven't played this year, especially on the indie side of things. Best mobile game: Donut Country. Donut Country. Sorry, no, Donut County. I got it right the first time. By Ben Esposito. Florence by Mountains. Fortnite by Epic Games, PUBG Mobile by Lightspeed and Quantum, and Reigns Game of Thrones by Nerial. I've only played a tiny bit of Donut County because I can't get it on my phone. I can only get it on my iPad because it's only iOS right now.
Is it?
Yeah, I can't get it on Android. You can get it on like a load of other. You can get it on consoles and stuff. But
yeah, you can get it on consoles because I looked to buy it.
Apple got the deal on that one.
I thought it was coming out.
I think I could be wrong. If anyone's got it on Android, you let us know and we'll read those messages later. But yeah, I'm personally not gonna give it to something like Fortnite or PUBG Mobile because as much as they run great on my phone and stuff, it's not a game that I ever go like, oh, I'll just sit down and have a game of Fortnite. I kind of go. I want when I'm playing mobile, I want something that's just quick and I can know that I can put it away. Yeah, find it at any? No.
No, it looks like it's just a rip-off one, which is a shame.
I'm going to give it a Reigns Game of Thrones because I like that. I don't think Reigns got enough attention when it came out as a mobile game, and I think adding the Game of Thrones license to it just meant that a lot of people found it and potentially went back and played the original. Have you played Reigns at all? It's essentially like a kingdom management game that you play through the mechanics of Tinder. So you swipe left and right. So it'll be like someone will come to you and be like, well, something's happening in the kingdom. We need to do this or this. And you swipe left or right for which decision.
Oh, no.
And you've got to manage like the people's like thoughts on you, the military, the church, all that sort of stuff. So that was the original game, Reigns, and it was really fun. Then they slapped a Game of Thrones skin on it and brought it out. But all that does is just gets the overall thing. And I hope they do more Reigns games down because they're really good because they add lots more scenarios.
Yeah.
They custom tailor it. So I'm going to go for Reigns.
I would go Donut County.
Donut County, because I'm assuming you've heard of it a lot.
I've heard of it. I've seen everything about it on PS4, and I think it would work amazingly on a phone.
I played it on iPad, and it's good. Okay, that's good.
What I would go for.
Best VR/AR game: Astrobot Rescue Mission by Sony Interactive Entertainment Japan, Beat Saber by Beat Games, Firewall 0 Hour by First Contact Entertainment, Moss by Polyarch Games, and Tetris Effect by Resonare. I've only played one of these, so I can only really give my opinion to one, but I'm going to go for Beat Saber. Because it's literally the only one I've played.
I'd want Beat Saber to win. I know Firewall 0 Hour is meant to be amazing as well. Like
so is Astrobot.
But I think Astrobot will take it.
You think he'll take it? He's getting a lot of good praise.
Rave reviews everywhere, and it's apparently just one of the best VR games to play.
Yeah, I can get that. Well, because they also, they made it specifically for PSVR, which there has been other ones as well, but a lot of the bigger PSVR titles now have been ports from they've been on Oculus, they've been on this, and then they've come over.
This was made
a PSVR one, so they've made it perfectly for it. Beat Saber I played and I really liked it, but I think you're right. I want Beat Saber to win, but I think only because I've played it. I think Astrobot will take it. Honestly, if I played Astrobot, I probably would choose that because it looks great fun. Best action game: Call of Duty Black Ops 4 by Treyarch, Dead Cells by Motion Twin, Destiny 2 Forsaken by Bungie, Far Cry 5 by Ubisoft Montreal, and Mega Man 11 by Capcom.
What's your thoughts?
Purely because the category is best action game, and as much as I love Destiny 2 Forsaken was great, but I wouldn't even, in my head, I know it's an action game, but to me it's like, that's a great shooter. The game that I think I've experienced the most action and fun from in the past year, Far Cry 5, you flying a helicopter with me acting as a conker on the end. That's the best action you can get in a game. Setting a bear after someone. Like, I'm going to go Far Cry 5 because I think it was the most fun and action-packed game with just the most ridiculous stuff.
I want Far Cry 5. I think Call of Duty will take it.
I think Call of Duty will take it. And I haven't played... admittedly, this is the first Call of Duty game that's come out where I've genuinely watched a lot of videos and Twitch streams of it, people playing Blackout. I genuinely
kind of want to play Blackout.
I genuinely avoid all Call of Duty stuff because I'm just never interested. But this has come out and I keep watching like Achievement Hunter playing Blackout and I'm like, damn, it looks like they've done a really good job of Blackout. Like,
I kind of want it, but
it's also expensive.
Like £50 for the game.
We've got Black Friday and Christmas and New Year sales coming. Who knows? But anyway, next category. So we want Far Cry 5, but we think Call of Duty will take it. That makes sense. Best action/adventure game: Assassin's Creed Odyssey by Ubisoft Quebec, God of War by Sony Santa Monica, Marvel's Spider-Man by Insomniac Games, Red Dead Redemption 2 by Rockstar Games, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider by Eidos Montreal / Crystal Dynamics. That's a tough one because all of these are great action-adventure games, at least the ones I've played, and I've played 4 of them.
3.
I've played a bit of Shadow of the Tomb Raider on PC. But yeah, that's a tough one because God of War is a phenomenal action-adventure game, but as is Spider-Man. I don't know if I'm going to choose Red Dead for this because as much as it's a phenomenal game, I don't think the action-adventure elements of it are what win me over. I think it's the story and the world and the art and the music.
I'll maybe say Spider-Man here.
Yeah, I loved Spider-Man. It was a really fun action-adventure game. You had the little RPG mechanic doing your skill tree. You've
got the big open world to actually move around.
That's it. It had a really fun Spider-Man story.
The mechanic is really good in it as well.
I'm going to choose Spider-Man. I think God of War might take it.
I'm pretty much the same.
Yeah. Best role-playing game, Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age by Square Enix, Monster Hunter World by Capcom, Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom by Level 5, Octopath Traveler by Square Enix, and Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire by Obsidian Entertainment. So that's the one that Obsidian do. Well, out of these, the only one I think I can genuinely vote on is Monster Hunter World, which I do love.
Monster Hunter World is in for me.
And I think it's also a phenomenal RPG.
Amazing RPG. It's got so much, like, I was in...
So much depth.
Because I was like, oh yeah, you can just plod through and thinking. I did not realize how much RPG mechanics are actually in a Monster Hunter game.
You can't just, like, race into it.
Yeah, you can't just go in and be like, I'll just smash it.
If you're going for a specific monster, you need to go, right, I need to go get this specific armor that's going to protect me against their thing.
But then to get that, I'm going to have to kill this
monster and all that sort of stuff, which is, yeah, I think it's a great role-play game. So regardless of the fact I haven't played other ones, Monster Hunter World gets my vote there. Best fighting game, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, have not heard of that, by Arc System Works. Dragon Ball Fighter Z or Fighters by Arc System. Hello, you're taking 2 of the nominations. Soul Calibur 6 by Bandai Namco Studios and Street Fighter 5 Arcade. I haven't played any of these. I can't really give a vote on it. 6? Yeah, by Bandai Namco. I haven't played any of them. I've seen some Soul Calibur 6. It looks fun, but I don't know if I can even honestly give a vote because I haven't played them. I'm going to give Soul Calibur because I like the franchise, and I think Street Fighter 5 has been out for like 10 years now. They don't need to keep re-releasing it in different formats.
I think Dragon Ball might take it, you know.
It's got a big following.
It's got a very big following.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know it gets rave reviews about it because it's not confined, if I remember correctly, it's not confined in a typical fighting arena.
Yeah.
You actually play around the map.
I'm going to avoid any vote, but I can see Dragon Ball taking it. Best family game. So here's where Nintendo take over. Mario Tennis Aces by Camelot Software Planning, Nintendo Labo or Labo by Nintendo EPD, Overcooked 2 by Ghost Town Games, Starlink Battle for Atlas by Ubisoft Toronto, and Super Mario Party by ND Cube. I've played a little bit of Starlink, but I'm gonna give it to Overcooked because I've only played what we played of Mario Tennis Aces at EGX, and I have also heard that game apparently runs out of stuff to do in about an hour or two.
My vote would go with, I want Overcooked 2.
Yeah. I don't think it'll get it. I think
Super Mario Party will get it.
I think Super Mario Party will take it, yeah. But I want Overcooked. I think Overcooked deserve it. That'll be a big get for them. Best strategy game, Battletech by Harebrained Schemes, Frostpunk by 11-Bit Studios, Into the Breach by Subset Games, The Banner Saga 3 by Stoic Studio, and Valkyria Chronicles 4 by Sega CS3. The only one I've played out of this is Frostpunk.
I couldn't even vote. I know I've seen a lot about Frostpunk and Banner Saga.
Frostpunk's really cool. It's got a very nice art style.
It's the one. Is that the one that's all frozen?
Yeah,
like the image.
It kind of almost looks like you're playing an RTS game set in the world from like Snowpiercer or something like that. Like
right.
It's cool. I'll give Frostpunk because it's the only one I've played. But I'm sure any of the other ones are great games. Again, we're going to be getting into territory here where we can't. But best sports/racing. Oh no, I missed it. It says racing. I already know what's going to win then, or what I want to win. Forza 19 EA Vancouver, Forza Horizon 4 by Playground Games, Mario Tennis Aces by Camelot Software Planning, NBA 2K19 by Visual Concepts, and Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 by Pro Evolution Soccer Productions. I guess they only make one game, I guess. I want to give it a Forza Horizon 4. And I think it might take it,
I think it might. It's an amazing, phenomenal game.
I think FIFA's always the same.
With yours.
Yeah, just that little bit is fun. And that's just scratching the surface. Once you get into that like game as surface mechanic where you every week is a different season, you have to wait for specific seasons. It's
insane that that's how they went with it as well.
I didn't expect it. I was playing and you kept going through the different seasons. I thought like you would be able to switch. Yeah.
But no, I wasn't expecting like it to change weekly.
It's weekly,
then gets you to come back.
Exactly. So because if you miss out on one of the challenges that you can only do in the snow, you got to wait for 4 weeks to be able to. You got to wait till next month to come do it again, which is just it's just a challenge in the game. You got to keep coming around. I guess somewhat Destiny's doing that right now with their changing world. Best multiplayer game: Call of Duty Black Ops 4 by Treyarch, Destiny 2 Forsaken by Bungie, Fortnite by Epic Games, Monster Hunter World by Capcom, and Sea of Thieves by Rare / Microsoft Studios. Because of what I've played of it out of these games, I want to give it a Destiny 2 Forsaken because they specify Forsaken, and I think Forsaken deserves it.
Forsaken, like we said before, adds so much.
It does. It fixed a lot of the issues.
The hardest problem is convincing your friends to go, get Destiny 2
Yeah,
Forsaken
go back
because
to
it's
it.
actually really good.
Yeah.
And you can see that with them trying to get people to push Refer a Friend, which
Well, they're doing that, and then they've also on every platform now you can get Destiny 2
they've
for
essentially
free.
given Destiny 2 out for free at some point on every platform.
Yeah, because the PC I think ends in a couple of days, but I think was it?
It's on PC free for the moment. It was a PS Plus game for PlayStation.
I want to say it was either an Xbox Gold game or it's on Game Pass.
It's probably on Games Pass.
Yeah. It's nice that Sea of Thieves has made it up there. I'll give them that. But I honestly, as much as I want Destiny 2 to win, I think Call of Duty might take it.
Yeah, Call of Duty, I think will take it. I think Blackout is going to just wipe the floor.
Because it's become such a huge... It's pretty... Really, no one expected it.
I want to try it.
No one played Fortnite. No, everyone that played Fortnite and PUBG and stuff, and when Call of Duty said they were going to do it, everyone was like, nah, they'll never do it right. It's a big studio doing it. It's not going to work. I think they pulled it off pretty well.
The only worry for them now is how well Battlefield 5 pulls off theirs in March.
Oh, is their one not out until March?
Not out until
I did not realize that. I thought it was out at launch. That's so dumb.
No, it's March.
Did you see? We're slightly getting off topic here, but this is a big old mess of a show anyway, as it always is. But did you see that they've now officially enabled RTX support in Battlefield 5? It's the first public game to have it, which is the thing in the new. It's the ray tracing stuff. You get all. Apparently, the game looks actually noticeably way better, but apparently it also tanks the frame rate regardless of your PC. So people who were like playing it and getting like, you know, people with like ridiculous monitors were getting like 180, 200 frames, and then they turn it on and then suddenly they were getting like
40.
Not quite as low as that, but I think they were only getting something like 80 frames, which is still totally playable. But with it off, you're getting nearly 200 frames. Best student game. I won't have played any of these, but we'll go through these. You're getting Robot Mike again. God damn. Do we want to try Power Cycle and see if we can fix it?
What, the mixer?
Yeah, just turn it off. Give it a second. So wait, we're gonna not hear us for a second, guys. Go for it. Right, are we back? Let's see if your mic is sorted. Thank you very much, chat, for letting us know. Thank you, Ninja, with your little VIP badge there.
Hopefully.
You want to be a robot?
Everyone wants to be a robot.
Let's find out. So, I'm gonna rattle these through since my mic apparently fine this stream. Still robot. It's gonna need unplugged and plugged back in, isn't it? Oh no, it just needs the Phantom again.
Should we do Phantom?
Yeah. It's very strange. We do really appreciate you guys letting us know, and we apologize to audio listeners. I'll maybe see if I can edit it a little bit around this, but I probably won't.
There's so much of it. I don't understand why it's decided to die tonight.
Yeah, it's been fine. Like, there's nothing changed in the setup.
Maybe there's a lot of static in the air.
Maybe there is. No. Let's see if that has fixed it this time.
If not, we may just have to share a mic.
We might have to share a mic, or we can grab a second mic. I've got more mics. There's a mic literally lying on the seat over there that you could very quickly plug in.
Still doing it. Right, bear with me.
Are you going to swap mics, and I'll go through these? Okay, so if you want to unplug that, and then we won't have any of your audio at all. There we go. Right, guys. So, best student game. I don't know any of these, but I'll rattle through them anyway. Combat 2018, Inland. No, you could literally... because it's already on an arm as well, you could just lift that arm off and put the other one on. Check if the other one's got a cable plugged in.
I hate you right now.
Sorry. I don't think it has a cable plugged in. So just take your cable off this. But yeah, that one should be fine. And if not, I think there's literally a cable. There's a cable on the floor just in front of the sofa. Right, sorry guys. Best student game, Combat 2018, Inland, Norway University of Applied Sciences. In Norway. Dash Quasar by UC Santa Cruz.
Oops.
The table's playing some music for you. Just lie it down somewhere. Jira by Digipen Bilbao from Spain. LIFF by iStart Digital from France. And Recharge by MIT. I can't give an opinion on what I think which one of these will win. Purely because I haven't played any of them. Because they are quite small, kind of independent games. Yeah, that's good. You're all good. You're tripping. Best debut indie game. Again, we've got Donut County by Ben Esposito, Florence by Mountains, Moss by Polyarch Games, The Messenger by Sabotage Studio, and Yoku's Island Express by Villa Gorilla. That's a tough one.
What a name.
I really, really like Yoku's Island Express.
Which one's Yoku Island Express?
We played it last year at It's like pinball, but it's like a little platformer / pinball. It was around the Team 17 area, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was at last year's EGX. So is this your original cable?
Yeah.
So then we'll know if it's the cable or... So, Adam's plugging back in. Let us know if he's still a robot.
Am I still a robot? Hopefully not.
Well, tiny part of us hopes you still are, because then at least we know that your mic wasn't actually broken.
Do you need us to talk a bit more? I also feel like I'm like miles. It's fixed now.
Sweet. So it might have been the mic. That's quite a shame, because it could just be that it all needed reseated properly and stuff. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not the mic, because they're pricey mics. Anyway, Donut County by Ben Esby. I went through all of them. Yoku's Island Express gets my vote purely because I've played it. What's happening here?
I'm just making sure it wasn't touching.
Yeah, you should be good.
Right, that's where it's staying.
That's where it's staying. It's not being moved.
I'm not going to fiddle.
What do you think out of these ones? Anything that you played? So we got Donut County, Florence, Moss, The Messenger, and Yoku's Island Express. Debut indie game. A game that came out this year.
Which one's The Messenger?
I haven't played it. I don't know.
I've also played a little bit of Moss, the demo.
Oh, so you could decide on that one. I don't know if Yoku will win. I think Donut County will probably take it because of the hype and everything it's got around it, and it's just deserved. Search and Moss might not.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I recognize that.
Moss is pretty cool, but
yeah, I'm gonna go Donut County.
Donut County.
Best esports game. We're getting towards the end of the list. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dota 2, Fortnite, League of Legends, or Overwatch.
Fortnite.
Yeah, it's going to be Fortnite. It's the biggest esports thing in the world. I'm not going to go through the list of esports players because I honestly don't know any of them. I don't know if you do.
Nope.
No. Or the best esports teams. I recognize like Fnatic and Cloud9 and stuff like that, but I wouldn't be able to give a vote on them from my opinion. Or the best esports coach. It's great that they get recognized in this though. So we're going to go straight down to Content Creator of the Year, Dr. Lupo, Myth, Ninja, Pokemon, or Willy Rex. I'm going to just go with the one that everyone assumes is going to win.
Twitch's poster boy.
Yeah, right. And that's not an insult. Like, good for him. Jesus. But I'm going to go with Ninja, yeah.
Ninja.
It's going to be Ninja, because he's the face of Twitch. He seems like a lovely dude as well. Like,
he
all the interviews
seems so humble as well.
Yeah, he seems so humble. So, yeah, shout out to
Ninja.
That's literally like going, like, shout out to Richard Branson. Like...
Bill Gates,
like they need it. But yeah, that is the Video Game Awards minus a few esports stuff that we skipped past.
That was a hefty list.
It was a very
how many there is.
Well, that's why I didn't plan a crap load of stuff for the game section, because I knew that was going to take up a lot of our time. But we do have a few bits of news to rattle through now. This is one that you added. I hadn't seen this. That the Avengers project by is it Crystal Dynamics?
Yep.
They have updated the banner on the website. So when you go to their kind of projects page on Crystal Dynamics, it has like all the different games. And much like Shadow of the Tomb Raider has a little new banner, now this has a little new banner, meaning we're probably going to get an update.
Game Awards.
Soon. Yeah, that sounds probably about right.
And all the devs been teasing like how good a day at work was, which feels like they're setting up a show or a trailer.
They keep going like, oh, it was an amazing day at work. Can't wait until we can share it. Like, there's something coming soon for them to be teasing that.
Yep.
So yeah, I think Game Awards.
Game Awards or kind of funny show.
It could be that, yeah. They've got 50 games to show off.
I feel like Game Awards is maybe the better place.
It's probably the Game. The Game Awards is the bigger one. They've got so many sponsors this year. Like, you know, all those like music ones that we were going through the list. They're all sponsored by like Spotify and stuff. Like, they get sponsors for each of the categories.
Insane.
It was just crazy. There was just Jeff Keighley set it up like 5 years ago, 5 years ago.
He funds it all himself.
Well, not anymore. He does now. He gets all the sponsorships and stuff. But no, it's still very impressive. The Avengers project was announced in January 2017, but literally we've got no information beyond that for pretty much for the past nearly 2 years. No, yeah, nearly 2 years. So that was that news. This one I saw popped up. Telltale is fully closing. Obviously, we already knew that they'd let a load of staff go, but they said that they were going to keep 25 members of staff on as skeleton crew, basically to finish the Minecraft story mode for Netflix. It is now being officially stated that it is going into liquidation. Those staff are being let go, and a load of their games, including some of their older titles like the Monkey Island series they did and the Back to the Future games, they've all disappeared off Steam. So it looks like all of their games are going to just disappear as well. They've sent letters out to shareholders that they've got this date to kind of cash in or whatever. But yeah, the whole company's going into liquidation.
I wonder if with that, if the rights to Monkey Island will go to someone.
I don't even think they own them anymore. I think they just had them for that game.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think they reverted back to... I imagine they'd go back to LucasArts, yeah.
They don't make games no more.
They don't, but I think all of their licenses were bought by someone else. I mean, like Tim Schafer managed to go off and make some projects
Maybe
again.
Tim Schafer.
He might own. He might do something with it.
He might own it.
I hope someone does. If not that, I hope someone else picks up The Wolf Among Us and goes and does something with that. But yeah, that's sad. It's very sad for all the people that lost their jobs. Obviously, that's kind of old news, but now it's just official. It is in liquidation. The next one, a game that released this week, a little-known game. You might have heard of it.
A hot mess.
Fallout 76, yeah, otherwise known as a hot mess. It has launched this week, and people are not happy. People are not happy at all, Adam.
I did call it.
You did call it. Metacritic review, the user reviews. It doesn't have press reviews, but the user reviews.
Because nobody wants to put their name to it.
The user reviews are being, because it's not on Steam, so they can't bomb it on Steam, but they are bombing it on Metacritic. The PS4 version of the game gets 2.9, the PC gets 3.2, and the Xbox One gets 2.3. I thought it would be the PC one that would be the most buggy, but apparently the console is equally as bad.
Can you look down and make your frames go through the roof and run?
No, they fixed that, but not the way you would think they'd fix it. So everyone thought that they would fix it by making it so the physics weren't tied to the frames, because obviously you can increase the frame rate.
They did not lock everybody's frame rate.
They made, because usually you go into the little .ini file, you change your frame rate so you can go higher than the set 60. You can still do that, but when the game runs, it resets the ini file back, and you can't change it when it's busy running.
What a scumbag.
So they've essentially they've locked it. You can't, anything you change in that file gets reset back to what it was. So that was their solution. Rather than making their game fixed, they just made it so that everyone was stuck at 60.
Down.
60 is admittedly playable, but if you're playing a PC and you've got like a super high refresh monitor and stuff, you want to be able to play it like 120 frames. I mean, why not?
I think that risking it all.
They really are. They're
going to slowly go down the rating of game devs that people go, I'm going to get this game on day one.
I think they're very quickly going to push Fallout 76 into being this slightly more obscure. Like, they're not going to treat it... Already, it's not treated as a main Fallout 4 title, but I think they're going to very quickly be like, oh, remember that side project that we did that was Fallout 76 that wasn't really part of the main thing? Don't worry about it. It was just like a little experiment.
It was a test.
An experiment that we charged you all full price for.
I'm surprised they haven't slapped the beta label on it.
Yeah, right. So players are finding, first of all, the actual reviews, players are finding exactly what you called. The world is very empty, filled with boring fetch quests that get very repetitive very quickly.
They shouldn't have taken actual NPC humans out of the game.
That
is what makes Fallout.
They've also, I've seen a lot of people posting that they find that the game was probably about 12 to 18 months out of, it shouldn't have been released as early as it was. It feels very unfinished. As well as that, the bugs that people are reporting, players are reporting full crashes of the game on console, not just PC or anything, up to 12 times within a 4-hour play session.
As soon as it happened twice with me, I would be finding any sort of way to refund my purchase.
Enemies apparently are spawning at random. You could be standing in an area that all the enemies are gone and they'll just suddenly start respawning around you.
Why? Why is that a thing?
Models.
In an MMO, yes. In a first-person open-world game where it's all online, you do not need that shit.
No, I've got a little note for that. But first, models apparently sometimes just don't load. The AI pathfinding apparently gets stuck very, very easily. Like, it'll just run into like an object and it can't move.
Was this like the interns game? Is that what it was? Was this programmed by interns?
Items apparently sometimes don't spawn correctly, and the PC INI file to unlock the frame rate is being fixed by simply resetting the actual file when the game launches. So it's essentially hard-coded. But yeah, all the bugs might have been have been overlooked in past Bethesda titles, because they're usually big enough games that you might only come across one or two of these bugs. But when it's a multiplayer game, it's not acceptable, because you need everyone to be on the same page. Yep. Otherwise, the PvP that's in there, that a lot of people are trying to avoid anyway, is just going to be broken.
Called it.
Not good. Not good for Bethesda, which is a real shame, because they were a massive... Like, you heard Bethesda and you're like, that's a quality name. But yeah, as you say, that's going to go downhill very quickly. People are going to very quickly remember Fallout 76.
Remember it. Look at EA. EA was big until they started pushing microtransaction and burning studios into the ground.
Yep. The next one, EA. This caught me off guard, because they literally, this is the weirdest one.
Segway.
This is the future that we're in now. They announced this game via Reddit. The developers made a post on the official, or not on the official, but they went onto the spoiler, it's Command & Conquer. They went onto the Command & Conquer subreddit and literally made an announcement post, because they obviously posted on there, because they already had little tags with like EA and stuff. They went on there and announced this. So EA has announced Command & Conquer Tiberian Dawn Remaster, which is the original Command & Conquer, along with the remaster, which is a 23-year-old game now. Makes me feel old as hell. EA have also announced that they're remastering Command & Conquer Red Alert and all three of its expansions. I think it's going to have another one in there, but they're going to release it all as one collection.
They saw Warcraft 3 get announced at BlizzCon
100%.
and shit themselves.
Well, not even shit. They went, oh, people want us to remake our old game? Like, I don't even think this is a full remaster. I think this is literally just upscaling all the graphics. So this is what Blizzard are also doing, because apparently if you pre-order Warcraft Reforged, you get Warcraft 3 and Frozen Throne.
Right.
I don't know if it's now or next week, so they're doing that. So, but yeah, apparently it's being developed by... Oh, maybe it is going to be a full one, because it's being developed by Petroglyph Games. No, it is. It must be a full remaster. It's being developed by Petroglyph Games, and it includes many of the original developers from Westwood Studios that made Command and Conquer. Development hasn't actually begun. They made the project official and then took to Reddit to go,
Why?
Well, they basically went, we want you guys in on the ground floor. We want to keep you up to date every step, so you can go, don't do that. Like, they want the community to be part of the development process, because these are the hardcore people on Reddit who are like,
I feel
still
like
playing Command and Conquer.
Studios have tried this before. They have the
Sometimes it
input
works,
from the
sometimes it
fans. It's a very risky game because
Sea of Thieves did it. It just missed the content. Sorry, you were...
like it's a very risky game because hardcore fans might want something, but it's not best for the overall players.
I hope that they'll have an overall, maybe they'll have like a voting system, kind of I think Xbox has done in the past with their Insider program. They have a thing where someone can suggest something and it needs to get X number of votes before they even consider implementing it. That would be a good way to do it. So, to round out the gaming releases, this was a longer gaming section than normal, purely because we went through all the Game Awards, but that's a big one, because we're going to be covering that in a few weeks' time anyway, once the Game Awards happens. Game releases for this coming week, November 15th, that's today. You can pick up Underworld Ascendant on PC from the creative minds behind System Shock, Thief, and the Underworld series. Enter the Stygian Abyss, I'm probably mispronouncing that, a dangerous, highly interactive dungeon world. Sounds pretty cool. Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus? What does that say?
Mechanus.
It's got an extra C in there, though. Mechanicus.
No, it's Mechanus.
Is that just Mechanus?
Yeah, it's Mechanus.
But it's a CUS at the end. Anyway.
That's cuss.
But you said Mechanicus. I don't know. Anyway, the new Warhammer 40,000 game comes out on PC today. Take control of the most technologically advanced army in the Imperium. Bad Dream Fever also comes to PC. The world is covered in strange ink. An unknown plague has gathered its cruel harvest. The city seems to be completely empty and dead, but in its every corner, there are manifestations of fear, sorrow, loneliness, and suffering. It looks kind of interesting. I looked this up. Hellgate London. This is a game that came out, I think 2007, but it's being re-released on PC now. You can go pick it up on Steam. The return of the sensational game. It is a classic action RPG that you can basically jump back into if you were a fan of it. Originally, you can now get it in nice high resolution. It looks nice and pretty. And Ubisoft are releasing the Settlers History Collection, celebrating the 25th anniversary of the strategic history simulation series. The Settlers History Collection brings all 7 of the previous Settlers games in one package.
Not bad.
That's pretty cool. Tomorrow, November 16th, you can pick up Civilization 6 on the Nintendo Switch. I don't know if I need to describe what Civilization... If you don't know what Civilization is at this point...
Pick yourself from underneath your rock and go look it up.
And also tomorrow, also on the Nintendo Switch, why they would release these both on the same day, I don't know, but Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee release on the Switch. Return to the Kanto region and experience a classic Pokemon journey in a whole new way with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
I did not realize it released as soon as it did. I thought it was like December January.
Smash Bros. Yeah. No, Nintendo's got a good lineup for this Christmas. Perfect sales time.
Civ 6 and Let's Go, let's not lie.
They're two different
demographics aren't playing them.
You're right. And finally, for tomorrow, Dust Rust on... Sorry.
Yeah, Dust Rust.
Yeah, Dust Rust on PS4. I think this has also been on PC.
Dust Rust?
I think it's been on PC for a while, if I'm not mistaken. But it's coming to PS4, and it's inspired by John Carpenter's The Thing. So if anyone's
it's a family-friendly comedy.
No. November 20th, next week. I think that is Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. You can pick up... You can already play it now if you've got the more expensive edition. Battlefield 5 on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. The latest installment in the Battlefield series dives into World War II with a bang. Warframe comes to the Switch. It's a free-to-play, fast-paced co-op shooter. Wreckfest, which has already been out on PC for a while, it's coming to PS4 and Xbox One. It's a demolition derby themed racing game with a soft body damage modeling system. They originally released this, I think it was a Kickstarter thing or something. It used to be called something else, and then it finally became Wreckfest. It was this amazing game.
Wreckfest rings a bell. Like,
you've probably seen it. I can't remember what it used to be called, but before Wreckfest, it was called something else. And it used to just be this racing game, but it was this crazy one where all the damage model is like ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is coming out. Marvel's Spider-Man DLC Part 2 Turf Wars. Hammerhead has declared a war on the other Dons of the Magia and are using equipment left by Sable International during its occupation of Marvel's New York. Spider-Man and Yuri Watanabe will have to team up to put an end to the violence that has erupted on the streets of the city. So that's the next in the trilogy of DLC that they're bringing out. I'm excited.
Next one will be in December.
Next one's in December, and then I'll pick them up and play them all.
Yep.
So. And finally, for this week is Squishies. Again, this is on November 20th. This is a new PS VR game. It's a puzzle platformer that sees the player using vacuum-powered robot alien fish to guide the titular characters around a colourful world. It looks kind of fun. I had that a look up. And also a special note I've got added here is, we offhandedly mentioned it before, but Rainbow Six Siege is free to play this weekend, starting today and running until Sunday the 18th.
Make sure you've got a good download speed, because I'm sure the game is about 100 gig.
I think that's only if you get the higher resolution. Because you can toggle the higher res textures and stuff off. If you turn that off, it cuts like 40 gig out of it. So
right.
But still, you're not wrong. It is a big game.
Still 60 gig.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that is all the entertainment releases and all the game releases. That is the end of the game update. We're an hour in. Actually, if we include the pre-stream, we're about an hour in. Let's jump in to the entertainment update.
Doodly 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 doodly.
And now we're in the entertainment update. Just to kick us off on a downer, this news broke earlier in the week on Monday, but we did lose the great Stan the Man. Stan Lee passed away. So condolences from SnatchyBuckles to Stan Lee's family, obviously. Yep. It's very sad because I think regardless of if you are a fan of comic book movies and all the current stuff, he's had such an impact on pop culture over the past 60 years.
It's become more and more mainstream that it's just more acceptable nowadays.
Yeah, I know, big time it is. With some of the biggest box office movies are the comic book movies, especially the ones that he cameos in.
It's people that you'll now not expect to go, oh, I really enjoy X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Be like, never would I pitch you.
Yeah, like I've come across people. Admittedly, I work in an IT office, but I'll come across people that I wouldn't have expected like that side of things. They're more into I'll come across someone in finance or something, and they're like, this sounds like I'm not typecasting. You know what I mean? I'm putting people in a group, pigeonholing. But there was a lady at work, and she did not seem like she would be into comic book stuff. And then she's like, oh yeah, like she loves Ant-Man, and like she really loved Ant-Man and the Wasp, and she's really looking forward to them, like the next Avengers film and stuff. And I'm like, oh, all right, that's really cool. Like. Yeah, like I wouldn't have expected it. But no, he had such a big impact on the pop culture world, basically creating these characters like 60 years ago that nowadays they're still being made into these huge movies. And it opened up the realm of, I think through comic books we expanded on sci-fi and fantasy in an even bigger way in the movie industry, as well as in books and comic books and stuff. He's had a really big impact all over the place. Yeah, it's very sad. He was 95. So it's, he was an old guy. We knew it was coming. We just kind of didn't want it. It's just very weird to know we now live in a Stan Freeless world. It's a very odd concept to think that in our lifetime, I really doubt there's going to be another person that people hold to the same regard as Stan Lee.
Attenborough.
In a different way. Like Attenborough's always been there, but it's a very different way.
Still,
yeah, Attenborough is very more niche in his own thing, whereas I think Stan Lee's had a bigger
in the independent.
Yeah.
Fields.
I do get that. I do totally get that. Yeah, you're right with Attenborough, but I think Stan Lee's probably had an impact on people's movie interests that they don't even realize that he's had an impact on. So yeah, no, it's very sad. I always like the quote, as bad as the film was, I always love the quote he dropped in his cameo in Spider-Man 3 when he walks up to Peter and says, I guess one man can make a difference. Enough said. It's a nice way to leave it.
Yeah.
So from one downer to a film that will probably have an even bigger downer if the last one was to go off, we have had a trailer for Toy Story 4. I don't know if we want to play this just in the background on mute because the song will immediately get picked up for copyright on YouTube. But yeah, we can just have it muted playing in the background down there. This is obviously the sequel to Toy Story 3. It's the fourth in the Toy Story series. There has been a few short films that they did for like Sky, I think. They did like the dinosaur one and a Halloween one, I believe. They were all right.
It's been nearly 10 years.
Has it really? Since 3?
No, is it?
No, it might be, you know.
I
When
think
did
it
3
is.
come out?
If I remember correctly, there's a
You
very
might
large
be right. 2010. It's been 8. Well, next year it'll be 9 years.
9 years.
Jesus, I did not realize.
Yes. I remember watching Toy Story 3 when it first came out.
Yeah. No, big. And it was that heartbreaking scene. I mean, we can spoil it right now because I imagine most people have seen it. And if you haven't, I guess just close your ears for a few seconds. But basically, the moment when you think that they're all going to go in the furnace is, yeah.
I saw people comment and say, like, when they first saw that end, they were expecting Netflix. That is how much Netflix have on it.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's the new character, Sporky.
Yeah, that is the new character Sporky that's shown up in this trailer. They also released a second trailer, which was like a reactions trailer, which features the voice talent of Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele, and they are pretty much just playing their characters that they play from Key and Peele in the I always call it the Liam Neeson sketch because it's basically when they're talking about films with each other and they're like, you seeing the Liam Neesons? And they're always talking about the Liam Neesons, and then they finally got Liam Neeson to cameo in the show as well. But yeah, so the new movie features it's Bonnie introduces Forky, a handmade toy made from a spork, who has an existential crisis wanting to be a spork and not a toy. Woody and the gang set off on a road trip adventure to help him understand how to be a toy, and along the way they discover how big the world can really be for toys. That immediately made me go, can they go to like they dropped that entire story, the Bo Peep. Yeah, they got rid of the Bo Peep storyline. That was one of the big rewrites when I think they brought Rashida Jones in and she wrote this story, I think.
I've also seen comments being like, this could be like very thought-provoking. Being
like,
like,
it's supposed to be.
When does an item get classed as a toy? Is it when like eyes and legs and arms are stuck to it?
I think anything can be a toy in the eyes of a kid, and I think that's what this movie's saying.
I am going to be shoving little kids out the way as soon as this is released. I don't care who gets in my way, they're getting moved.
Well, Toy Story 4 hits cinemas June 21st, 2019, or at least in the US it hits then. It'll probably come to us September or something. It'll be God knows how much longer. Be. Well, Wreck-It Ralph comes out like in 2 days in the US, and we don't get it for like 3 weeks.
I'm going to book my ticket to the States now.
So yeah, that was Toy Story 4. Next up, we've actually got a proper trailer to watch, so we can have this unmuted. You haven't seen this yet, if I'm not mistaken.
I have not seen this.
So I left this one in so we could watch this together, and we could get Adam's live reaction. We're going to go big screen on this. We'll see how loud it is.
Welcome to
maybe a little bit up first.
A celebration of the harmony between
so this is Pokemon Detective.
Detective Pikachu. But you see immediately it's a Pokemon world with Pokemon everywhere.
Yeah.
Your dad was a legend in this precinct. If you were anything like your dad...
Is it based off any of the league?
It's based on the Detective Pikachu game. That's all.
That's all. Like, not.
But there's references to like every... Like, you'll see, he looks at a poster here.
Yeah.
Like, there's references to all of it.
Yeah.
Andy departs Lavender Town.
Mm-hmm.
Someone there?
Oh, they've built real cities from the game.
Whoever you are, I know how to use this.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
I know you can't understand me, but put down the stapler or I will electrocute you.
I can see one of our viewers comments that
it's just Deadpool. But that's just Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool at this point.
Oh my God, you can understand me. Stop. I've been so lonely.
They try to talk to me all the time. All they hear is Pika Pika.
You can hear him, right?
Pika Pika. Yeah, Pika Pika Pika. He's adorable.
You're adorable. They can't understand me, kid.
Can no one else hear him?
I'm actually mildly excited. Yeah,
I'm sold. Just this
you
world.
I'm your best bet.
We're gonna do this.
Why do I recognize the main actor?
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. He's the one that was a
Bulbasaur?
useless bag of
Jigglypuff?
shite for the entire movie. Bit of Charizard.
It looks so good. It looks so good. I'm not
like
gonna
a
lie.
proper Pokemon film.
This has a very big budget.
We got ways to make you talk.
Oh yeah, it's a big movie.
Tell us what we want to know. Pipe. Yes. Okay. I can. Shoving. Pushing. My problem is that I.
I'm so glad they've made Mr. Mime not tall.
He's saying you can shove it.
What? I can shove it? Okay, that's it. No, we're switching roles. I'm bad cop. You're good cop.
No, we're not cops.
In my head, I saw that differently.
I wonder if they'll have like Pokemon fight in it.
Well, we've got to see. It looks like they're gonna have some sort of thing because we saw the Charizard bit look like it was in an arena.
Oh yeah.
I've also seen people rumoring that could be Ash's Charizard because it looks way bigger than Charizard. Because that's the whole thing in the series, that Charizard isn't as big as everyone thinks it is. Because in the anime, Ash's Charizard is known, it's actually way bigger. Charizard's usually only like, I want to say it's like, I'm probably wrong. Any Pokemon fans out there can obviously correct me. I think it's only like 5.5 foot or something. Whereas Ash's one is supposed to be like 7 or 8 feet tall. So people are going like, that's a big Charizard that they're showing there. Maybe that's Ash's Charizard.
I would not be surprised if there is a little nod to Ash Ketchum.
I honestly think
any of the main, because I know the switch halfway through one of the animes where it's a random kid, or Brock, or Misty.
I honestly think that they could even just have it so that it mention the name of a gym leader or something. They could mention like Brock or Misty or something.
Or Dr. Oak.
Yeah, yeah, they could absolutely go for Professor or any of the other professors from the other places. But they could. Honestly, I wouldn't surprise me, and I would love it based on the trailer if they literally have just don't even have it in the main film, just post-credit scene of just Ash just like putting his cap on, and then just leave it there. And I'll be like, I'm sold. When is it? Like next summer after? I'm sold. I'm there.
The cinema would lose their collective shit.
Yeah, but I think that this looks also like they're setting it up in a way that even if you're... I mean, there's a lot of Pokemon fans, but there's also I think a lot of people who aren't even Pokemon fans could go and see this.
There is no way you're not going to know what at least...
You're going to know what a Pokemon is.
A handful of them Pokemon are.
But even if you don't, I feel like the film looks like it's going to do a good enough job of introducing you to this world.
I love the look of the Pokemon.
It looks so good. The art style looks great. I think it looks... It's a really big budget. It's the Pokemon film we wanted. I always thought it was an odd choice to choose Detective Pikachu. I think it now makes sense because it's enough almost slightly outside of the Pokemon world that they're not literally just going, we're following a guy while he goes and gets badges.
Yeah.
Like, this is a big enough story that we can just tell this. If this works, we've got a Pokemon cinematic universe.
Just take this in mind, how much Warcraft blew up in like the Asia market.
Yep.
This is going to smash every single record that any movie has ever set in Asia.
And I think this will do really big in the West. I honestly do. I think it looks fun, and having someone like Ryan Reynolds attached, I think could help sell it as well.
I think that's why they went with him as well.
Yeah. And also because he sounds great. Like, it just sounds like Deadpool. I mean, fair enough if you don't enjoy Deadpool, but it's just Ryan Reynolds' sense of humor. It's basically going to be PC Deadpool.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that was the Detective Pikachu movie. I don't actually have details on when it comes out, but I think it's sometime... I don't even think it's too late. I think it's like March or May next year. If you want to look that up while I go into the next story, this is one that you linked, but I had seen a few things about it from listening to the Kevin Smith podcast.
10th of May.
10th of May for the US, so we'll maybe get it a day or two later, hopefully. IMDb would have the listing if it's on there. But yes, so Jay and Silent Bob reboot begins production in February. This is technically a sequel to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. What have you found?
I was just saying if I had any other dates. No. Yeah, it looks like May 10th.
May 10th. We'll go for May. So May next year, we'll get in the Detective Pikachu movie. So yeah, filming on the next Jay and Silent Bob movie, the Jay and Silent Bob reboot starts. It's going to be starting the film in New Orleans in February, which is interesting. New Orleans rather than Jersey.
Yeah.
But that starts in February. It's a sequel to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which is from like 10 to 15 years ago or something.
This is also not a reboot.
No, that's it. It is technically a sequel.
The whole premise of it that because in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, they made a movie, didn't they? If I remember correctly, the whole premise is that they made a movie and then they went back for the internet, and is now this one the fact that movie within the movie universe is getting
the whole
rebooted.
thing. So so in the first movie, it was Jay and Silent Bob who had been made into comic book characters, Bluntman and Chronic, by characters from earlier Kevin Smith movies. They were in
Clicks?
Chasing Amy. Mallrats. One of the two. I think it was Mallrats. So it turned out that Hollywood had bought the rights to that comic and they were making a film out of it. So then they traveled across the country to go and stop the film being made. Now, as you said, they are rebooting that film. So Jay and Silent Bob are going to travel across the country to stop the reboot being made. On a recent episode of Fat Man on Batman, which is Kevin Smith's podcast, he says, if you remember Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, literally what I've just said, it's a movie in which Jay and Silent Bob found out Hollywood were making a movie about them, so they crossed the country to Hollywood to stop it from happening. In Jay and Silent Bob reboot is completely fucking different. The movie now centers, the new movie centers around the titular characters trying to stop Hollywood from making a reboot of the 2001 comedy. He says it's literally the same fucking movie all over again. It's a movie that makes fun of sequels and remakes and reboots while being all three at the same time. I think that's great. It's really poking
can't
fun at
wait.
Hollywood. So the film will feature a matured Jay and Silent Bob, but it doesn't mean that there won't be any slapstick moments that we know and love. But they are obviously the original film was 2001, where it's 70. It's gonna when it comes out, it's gonna be nearly 20 years later. So they have definitely grown up. I mean, he made an entire podcast series, which is Jay and Silent Bob Get Old. I went to see a live recording of that a good few
Kevin
years
Smith
ago.
has changed so much.
He's slimmed down. Good for him. I mean, admittedly, it took a heart attack to get him there, but nonetheless. Next, this is one I spotted. Gotham final season has had its title revealed. Anyone looking forward to the final 13 episodes of Gotham, which begins airing January 3rd. If you haven't caught up with Gotham yet, now's the time to do it. This new series is subtitled. They always do the little subtitles. Legend of the Dark Knight.
I vaguely remember you mentioning that. Isn't like a handful of the episodes going to be actual adult Batman?
I think at least the last episode, if not the last two, are going to be set like 20 years in the future, and it's going to be showing him as Batman. So we're going to see the rise to it, then we're going to see him, which I think is great. Past seasons include Rise of the Villains, Wrath of the Villains. They were actually part of the same season. It was two halves. Mad City, Heroes Rise, they were again part of the same season, and then last season was called A Dark Knight, and now this one is Legend of the Dark Knight. So I'm excited. Yeah, it drops. There's only 13 episodes. It's a half season, and it drops January 3rd, 2019. Not long to go. I'm very excited for it. Next up, the Avatar sequels have wrapped. They are finished filming. Yeah, so they filmed Avatar 2 and 3 back to back. James Cameron released a video. He's mostly talking about the upcoming release of Alita, Battle Angel. But in it, he did say, I'll quote him here. He says, "Hi, James Cameron here today, and I'm coming to you from the set of the Avatar sequels, and behind me you can see our performance capture stage. Today we're capturing some stunt scenes, filming some stunt scenes, but our principal cast are all wrapped. That's Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, and Kate Winslet." And he goes on to say that they are done now, but they gave incredible performances, and I can't tell you how proud I am of the work that they did on these films. So 2 and 3 were filmed back to back, and they arrived December 18th, 2020. Because there's a lot of post-production in those films.
About to say, is that not Brave going up against... No, one of them will go up against the Star Wars movie. Theoretically, if Star Wars follows the pattern, because we hadn't had... Blah, 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 blah.
No, the next Star Wars film is next year, so that's 2019. And that's the last of the series.
That's 2019. Oh, they're not doing any more?
There's no other Star Wars films currently planned.
Oh, is there not? I thought there was
so. I think
maybe
they
one
cancelled all the side projects to do
2021.
TV instead. So no, maybe they might bring something. They'll probably announce something by then.
What episode are we up to?
We're up to episode 9. It's the final because it's the next of this trilogy. So we're up to the last one of that.
Isn't that the whole premise that trilogy is starting off a whole new saga?
Yeah, potentially. And there's all this stuff. Actually, there is other films I think in the works because Rian Johnson's supposed to be going and doing films set in a different part of the universe entirely, and we're supposed to be getting other stuff. But there's no other mainstream Star Wars films planned currently. So, and also they don't seem to always like Solo released in the middle of summer, which I think is also what probably killed it.
Star Wars, big Star Wars titles now release at the end.
We would always hope
December.
for it. They always had, and then they brought Solo out in like May, and it was
that's
bombed. Yeah, because you didn't have any like hope for it, which is really sad because it was a great film. So yeah, Avatar 2 and 3 were filmed back to back, December 18th, 2020, and then the third movie is December 17th, 2021. 2 additional films are planned. They've already planned this as a 5-movie thing, but they won't come out and they won't start production until they know if these 2 are successful.
I'll wait until I'm 50 and I get to see Avatar 4
or 5.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same with the Fantastic Beasts movie at the moment because they've still got another 3 movies planned. So
yeah, but they release fairly frequently.
Every couple of years.
Movies like
these are a year and then another year. So if they go straight into production after the first one releases, we could get the next ones by like 2025, 26.
But when did Avatar 1 come out?
Oh, that was a long time ago. They didn't start production on Avatar 2 and 3 until the start of this year, or maybe I think they did pre-production last year.
10 years ago.
Yes, 10 years. It's a long time. But yeah, so interesting. I don't know. I always think it's weird when they plan films that far in advance, especially when they're not based on like a book or anything.
Yeah.
Like Fantastic Beasts, they've got 5 films in that saga, which was originally supposed to be 3, then they stretched it out. I was actually lucky enough, I haven't got this listed in here because I wasn't going to do a full review or anything, but I was lucky enough I got to see an advanced screening of Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, or Grindelwald. I've always called him Grindelwald, reading the book, because I always thought it's a German... It's a German name. I always thought it would be pronounced Grindelwald. That's always the way I read it. So, 90% of the characters in the movie call him Grindelwald, but for some reason Jude Law calls him Grindelwald.
I would go Grindelwald.
I did read about it. Apparently, nobody corrected him until halfway through filming, so they just kept it.
Why?
Doesn't matter. He's not in that many scenes anyway. Spoilers. No, the film was all right. It just wasn't. It wasn't what I. It was too packed. It felt like they were literally setting. It felt like the Matrix 2 or like the second in the Hobbit movies. It was setting up for the next ones.
The filler movie.
Yeah, it was super filler movie. There was so many characters in there that had no need to be in there. Like, it literally threw stuff in for fan service. Like, we've already seen in the trailers, so I'm not spoiling this, but yeah, like Nagini's in it, which is Voldemort's snake.
Yeah.
You see she turns into a woman for some reason. Not really fully
Isn't
explained.
Professor McGonagall in it?
I don't want to spoil anything.
I remember seeing an article being like she was cast.
There's a few twists and stuff. I don't want to spoil any stuff, but it's not good. Like, it felt like fan service.
Spoilers for Fantastic Beasts. I haven't
For the
seen
first
it,
one.
but
For the new one.
For the new one. But what I read was that McGonagall's in it, but matching the timeline, she wouldn't be alive.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. A lot of it didn't make any sense in the film. A lot of the film didn't make any sense. They just threw stuff in for the sake of it. It was so muddled. Like I say, there was so much premise of a good film, and somewhere in there is a really good film, but they just every other scene was just throwing more information.
I want the Ben cut of Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of
It would be like
Grindelwald.
45 minutes shorter because there's so many scenes in that film that just had no need to be there.
Make it. This is your directing debut.
Like I say, I didn't hate the film. If you're a big Harry Potter fan, you might find something in it you enjoy. It'll probably, if anything, just make you excited for maybe the next one. But overall, the film itself, if you view it from just a film point of view, it's such a muddled mess. Like, it was really... And I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I love the originals. I enjoyed Fantastic Beasts well enough. It's just... It was so muddled. There was so much going on that didn't need to be going on, and it felt like half the time... And I'm a big Harry Potter fan, and I understand this universe, and I was going like... Wait, so why are they doing that? Like, it offhandedly explained it quickly and then just went into something, and I'm like, you haven't established anything going on in here. And I think the worst part of it that I disliked, none of the characters showed any growth.
I wonder how I'll see it.
Because you're not as big a Harry Potter fan. You might enjoy it more, but honestly, I think you might also... I think you'll probably come out of it and go, it was good, but I think if you were honest, you would probably go, it was... Or you can agree.
I would go, it's meh.
Yeah. I think that's probably going to be a reaction. I don't think you'll enjoy it as much as you enjoyed the first one. The first one was a very nice standalone story that had little ties into other stuff. This one is very much, we're setting up a bigger universe. And it feels, honestly...
To be fair,
it feels
first
like
one, I only really like Eddie Redmayne.
He was actually really good in it. And I'm not a big Eddie Redmayne fan, mostly because I think Jupiter Ascending ruined him for me. I recently saw an interview with him where he said he actually didn't like his performance in Jupiter Ascending either. I was like, that makes two of us. But no, he was phenomenal as Newt. I thought he was very, very good. There was lots of great moments. There was a few bits I felt the first movie couldn't find its feet tonally. Sometimes it felt like it wanted to be kind of dark and serious, and it was going down that Grindelwald. And then it was like, no, we want to be jokey and over the top, and we want to have like, we want the Jacob character to be running away from an animal that's trying to rape him. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Is this a kids movie, or are you trying to go for the adult audience? I can't figure it out. It was still fun, but they couldn't find the tone. This one, it felt like 80% of the scenes were backdoor pilots. They did a Justice League. They ran before they could walk. So they did one film, and then they went, okay, now we're doing the next one. But rather than just keeping it in this thing, it honestly feels like next year they're going to go, we're also going to do this film and this film and this film, and they're all going to be following these little characters that we set up in this one. They wouldn't surprise us. Anyway, that was my mini review. Didn't mean to do that. But the next bit of news we've got from the entertainment industry, Bad Boys 3, which we talked about last week, has an official title.
Bad Boys for Life.
Oh, I read it as Bad Boys for Lift 3. It's like Fan Falstick.
That's your age, Sean.
Yeah, it is my age, Sean. So yeah, it's Bad Boys for Life, but they've replaced the E in life with a 3. I guess. I don't hate it. It's silly as the film is, so it'll totally work. But it's still it's gonna look great on a poster. It's gonna be very like Too Fast, Too Furious. Sony hasn't actually confirmed this title, but it was listed by Production Weekly, which is a kind of in the they work in the industry, so it's probably real. Bad Boys for Lift 3 is expected to begin production January 14th and is expected to wrap on April 11th. Atlanta and Miami are two of the locations the project is expected to shoot. We don't have a official release date just yet, just a proposal.
I can't imagine that film is going to take very long to film.
Probably not. It'll always be action stuff. I can't imagine they're going to have that much post-production with CGI or anything. Netflix are testing a new pricing model. I thought this was interesting. So this is reports coming in from Malaysia that are showing that along with the existing Netflix pricing models of basic, standard, and premium, which allow you to have kind of one screen, two screens, connected. And also I think basic is just standard definition, whereas standard and premium are HD, and I think standard is 2 screens and premium is 4, and it's up to 4K as well. I could be wrong on that, but a new option has appeared in Malaysia called mobile. It is currently priced at RM17. I don't know Malaysia's currency properly, but that's the equivalent to about £3.15 or about $4. It's expected to be a much lower pricing model because obviously it's just streaming for mobile. A Netflix spokesperson has confirmed that Malaysia is currently trialing this. They said that there are similar trials running in a few different countries, but they declined to provide any details. It's unclear if it will be rolled out to people in the future. I think it's interesting that I'll never use it personally. It's not something I would use.
You sign up for Netflix mobile, this whole new testing system.
Yeah.
What happens if you then stream it off your mobile and then go, well, I'm going to cast this to my TV?
You probably could, but it would probably maybe be lower resolution on mobile.
Do you think? It's
they are 4K screens, yeah.
On the phone.
Maybe it's going to be lower, though. Maybe it's going to be like the standard def stream into your phone, because you don't need this high quality when the screen's only this big.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah.
We'll see, because that could be a workaround.
It could be a workaround, but maybe they'll have it so if you've got the mobile package from within the net, you'd be able to do a workaround around it, but you'd probably make it so that the cast option is disabled or something.
There'll be
workarounds. There'll be a way to mirror your screen
ways.
and stuff. Next up, this is a one I've already titled it as misleading title. I saw this headline around the internet. The In-Betweeners, which is a UK show that tried remaking it for US audiences and it didn't take off.
I don't know why they tried that, because that show is 100% British humor.
The only show that's worked when they've remade it in America. Oh yeah, The Office. Actually, no, yeah. So there's a few. The Office worked, and what the hell is it called? I'm totally blanking now. I'm trying to say it. In the UK, James McAvoy started on it. It's about a family. Could you look up James McAvoy first TV or something? While you do that, I'll go through this In-Betweeners news. So it's a misleading headline. So Channel 4 has confirmed that Simon Bird, James Buckley, Blake Harrison, and Joe Thomas are going to feature in a 2-hour celebration episode. It'll be... That's his film, television...
The Bill?
No. Shameless.
Oh,
Shameless was a big UK show, but it went over to the States and apparently did very well in the States. Like, I think I don't know if it's still going now. It's finished, but it went for like 4 or 5 seasons or something. Like, it did well.
The In-Betweeners is a whole different...
It's a different thing. It's that sense of humor doesn't work. I don't think Bus Wanker really works to American audience.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they confirmed they are returning. The catch is it's not actually it's not like a Christmas special. It is literally a selection of classic clips, behind the scenes footage, and different contributions from famous fans that are going to be there talking about it.
So angry.
So yeah, fans shouldn't get their hopes up, because apparently a 4th season isn't in the works in any way.
So it was such a good show.
It was a great show. I really liked the first movie. I wasn't a fan of the second movie.
The movies were pushing it. The TV show alone,
the TV show was great.
It's phenomenal. I think it's something that you could go back and watch as well.
Oh no, I've genuinely thought about it a few times. I think I could go back and watch that. I want to see Neil punch a fish to death again. But no, I enjoyed the first movie. Again, it was pushing it, but it still felt in that realm. The second movie, when they were like, we're going to go to Australia, I was like, nah, I'm lost.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, Blake Harrison, who plays Neil, said, I don't think it would work. This is talking about doing a new season. I think we're too old now, which I agree they are at this point. It was about high school students and then uni students.
Have to do it is like a family get together, like what's that horrible Adam Sandler and what's his name?
Family get together.
It's got him out of what's his name? My Modern Family? Not My Modern Family.
Our Modern Family?
Not Modern Family. It's the one where the dad's the sports writer, and it was where Kaylee
Cuoco started. You're talking about David Spade.
Yeah, David Spade.
David Spade's in a lot of Kevin Smith movies. Adam Sandler. I don't know where.
And I had Kevin James in as well.
James. Oh, you're talking about the ones where they're all friends and they reunite or something?
Yeah.
Yes. They did 2. I can't remember what they're called actually, but they did 2 of them.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called now. That's how much they held in my memory.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. What's David Spade been doing with his life?
Oh, he's in all sorts. But yeah, so that's the In-Betweeners. I don't think they would work in another season. I'll probably check this out when it's on Channel 4 because I liked it. Grown-Ups, thank you. Yeah, Grown-Ups and Grown-Ups 2. The last thing we have, I'm not sure if you've seen this trailer. If you have, we can skip it.
I haven't.
But I thought it would bring us all down for the end of the toward the end of the episode. We can check out the Dumbo trailer that just dropped today.
I briefly saw it when I was walking to my car from work.
It's a big downer, just like the animated one was, but we'll check it out anyway. I do like that. I love that Disney's doing that more and more when they go from the castle straight into it. I love that. Jungle Book was really good.
I really like how every single castle's different as well.
It is now. It used to just all be the same, but they all.
No, it's like every Disney movie has a different castle.
Does it really?
It's the whole thing with it. Every Disney castle movie entrance.
I'm gonna have to go and look these up now.
Ah, no, wrong screen. I forgot I was in that screen. Bye-bye.
We'll leave it till afterwards.
And it's by Tim Burton. You know it's going to be depressing.
Yeah. I didn't like that it was like from the imagination because it is just the Dumbo story.
It'll have his twist on it as well.
But we get Batman and the Penguin reunited.
You have mystique. You have magic.
Plus, I'm always happy to see Danny DeVito. But yeah, that's Batman and the Penguin from Batman Returns.
Yep. It looks okay.
No, it doesn't look bad. I've got no issue with it.
No.
I won't see it because I imagine it's going to intentionally try to make everybody cry. This scene in the original animated, I was bawling as a kid when his mom gets taken away. Bit of the original music in there as well.
He doesn't look like magic to me.
That man looked like Hitman.
Indeed. Agent 47's there. Clean. It's a new level.
You've got to steal the elephant.
No, I'm already getting sad.
Need you to believe in them.
Of course, it's gonna purposely be sad.
Yeah. The animated one was. It was a very sad movie.
You can do it, Dumbo. Show him.
Felt like that was spoilers. I'm pretty sure he had both arms for most of that film, and then suddenly he's missing one.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Disney's doing some great live action at the minute.
They are pushing it, and it's working.
Yeah,
Isn't
no, it's
the
working
next
well.
one Mulan?
I think Lion King first, and then yeah, Mulan is in production at the minute. And then I think they're doing maybe The Little Mermaid or something. I don't know. Some of them I'm a little bit sketchy on, but I don't know. I've got faith. I've enjoyed all of them so far. You're looking at the castle entrances.
Oh, it's just gonna Disney movie intro.
We can always check it out. Actually, excuse me. While you're doing that, we will round out the entertainment update by going through the entertainment releases for the next week. These are films hitting cinemas. I've got them listed for both the UK and the US, so you can probably find your release date amongst that. So Friday, that's tomorrow, November 16th, Dead in a Week. All Your Money Back is coming to the UK. I thought it was interesting. It's only coming to Odeon Cinemas. It's a little independent style one, starring Aneurin Bernard, Tom Wilkinson, and Christopher Eccleston. So it's a reasonable cast. But yeah, only coming to Odeon Cinemas in the UK. Siberia is getting its UK release. I think this came out a month ago in the US, starring Keanu Reeves. Suspiria, which I think came out last week in the US, or maybe the week before, is coming to the UK, starring Dakota Johnson, Tilda Swinton, Mia Goth, and Chloe Grace Moretz. Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, come to the UK and the US tomorrow, starring Eddie Redmayne, Catherine Waterston, Dan Fogler, Jude Law, and Johnny Depp. And in the US, you get your release of Widows, which I think came out here last week, starring Viola Davis, Michelle Rodriguez, and Elizabeth Debicki. On Wednesday next week, November 21st, in the UK, you can go and see The Girl in the Spider's Web. This came out in the US last week, starring Claire Foy, Sylvia Hooks, and Stephen Merchant. In the UK and the US, you can catch Robin Hood, starring Jamie Dornan, Taron Egerton, Jamie Foxx, Paul Anderson, and Ben Mendelsohn. If you're in the US, you get your release of Creed 2, starring Michael B. Jordan, Dolph Lundgren, Tessa Thompson, and Sylvester Stallone. We don't get that for like another few weeks, or if not a month. And Ralph Breaks the Internet is hitting the US, starring John C. Reilly, Sarah Silverman, Gal Gadot, and Jane Lynch. Again, we don't get it until the end of the month,
This
if not
just
next month.
points out how many movies just have them separated release dates, and it annoys us even more.
If you fancy staying in this weekend, there are options. If you're a Netflix subscriber, you can watch tomorrow, November 16th, Narcos Mexico, which is a new spin-off series, the rise of the Guadalajara cartel as an American DEA agent learns the danger of targeting narcos in Mexico, starring Alyssa Diaz, Diego Luna, and Michael Pena. I love Narcos. I will definitely give this a go. This is a spin-off series as opposed to like a sequel thing. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs is a movie hitting Netflix tomorrow, starring Liam Neeson, James Franco, and Zoe Kazan. It's an anthology film comprised of 6 stories, each dealing with a different aspect of life in the Old West. The Kaminsky Method, which is a new series hitting Netflix, starring Alan Arkin, Sarah Baker, and Michael Douglas, an aging actor who long ago enjoyed a brush with fame, makes his living as an acting coach. I watched a trailer for this a few weeks ago, and it actually looks really good. I really like Alan Arkin and Michael Douglas. And if you want some Christmas fluff is the nicest way of putting it, The Princess Switch, starring this is my bad joke, starring Vanessa Hudgens and Vanessa Hudgens. You can already guess where the film's going with that title and the fact I listed the actress twice. 1 week before Christmas, Margaret, the gorgeous Duchess of Montenero, switches places with Stacy, a commoner from Chicago who looks exactly like her. With the assistance of a magical Santa's helper, Margaret falls in love with Stacy's handsome co-worker, while Stacy falls in love with Margaret's fiancé, the dashing prince.
Have they just made Freaky Friday?
It's not, because that's like mother-daughter sort of stuff, but...
The premise of Freaky Friday.
It's more, I don't, because this sounds it's using magic even though they're identical. I think, is it not more, which one is it? Is it Coming to America? I'm thinking of. No, not Parent Trap.
The Olsen twins.
No, Coming to America was Eddie Murphy back in like the 80s, I want to say. But anyway, it looks like Christmas fluff. It's that time of year. And if you're an Amazon Prime Video customer, this Friday, November 16th, you can watch the Gymkhana Files. This is a new series that's going to go behind the scenes on Ken Block's automotive stunt films leading up to the release of Gymkhana 10 in December. I've seen earlier Gymkhana stuff. They're always very impressive, all the stuff he does. This is a series kind of going behind the scenes and how he prepares for all that sort of stuff. It's very cool, especially if you're a motorhead and you like car stunts and stuff. So that's definitely worth checking out. And that is the end of the entertainment update. Of course, I mentioned Amazon Prime Video there. If you're an Amazon Prime customer and you haven't already linked your Twitch account to your Amazon account, you can do so, and then you can throw that sub our way. And you get a few benefits from us, which is nice. And we get supported by you. Of course, you can do that with your hard-earned bucks as well by subscribing here on Twitch or through tips and shares. We appreciate all that sort of stuff, and we appreciate you guys coming and hanging out for the recording of the show, even if we have some hiccups throughout. It seems to be fixed now, hopefully.
This might be my new mic.
This might be a new mic now, yeah. But yeah, that has been the SnatchyBuckles weekly update for November 15th. It's I don't know if I've got anything else to add for the outro. I think that was it.
Next week shouldn't be as big. I don't think there's anything big happening.
There's not any big events this coming weekend, no, so it shouldn't be quite as big. This was a slightly longer one again, it's in the 2-hour mark, which I think last week was as well. But we went through a lot of stuff, a lot of gaming stuff there with all the award stuff going on. But yeah, no, I think that's it. So I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. If you listen to this via podcast or on youtube.com/SnatchyBuckles, be sure to head on over to twitch.tv/SnatchyBuckles and give us a follow. It helps us out. I'm going to play us out now with our outro music, which should hopefully play. I said it should hopefully play. It's playing very quietly. But that's totally fine. Again, thank you very much to everyone who watched. And yeah, make sure to give us a follow. And we will catch you
in the next update.